shame, ek wou hê sy moet
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our council meeting for April. I would like to ask your attention for our executive mayor and executive deputy mayor. Thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. On behalf of council this morning, I would like to welcome Pastor Fassi, who is from the Restoration Life Ministries Church in Mossel Bay, and he will this morning open our council meeting with scripture, meditation, and prayer. Warm welcome, Pastor Fassi, on behalf of council, and I now hand over to you to proceed. Thank you so much.
Good morning to everybody. Because it is my first time, I am not sure about the protocol of greeting. So I have heard to some of the learned people, they will use the term all protocol observed. Let us get our scripture reading from Philippians chapter number 2. I'm reading from verse 3 up to 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of the others. I think the scripture has already spoken for itself. Let us bow our heads and pray. My Heavenly Father, I come before you today seeking for your guidance and wisdom. As the leadership gathered here to make decisions for our community, grant them the ability to work together in unity, prioritizing the needs of our citizens and the well-being of our municipality. May their discussion be respectful, their decision be just, and their action be compassionate. Help them, O Lord, to serve with integrity and humility, always seeking the greater good. In your name I pray, amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Fassi, for sharing the scripture and praying for council. It's always a humble honor to confirm that we are indeed God-fearing and we understand the purpose and know that we need Him in order to lead our town. So thank you very much for that. I would like to invite you to join our council meeting this morning. You're more than welcome to take a seat in the gallery, should you wish to do so. But I also understand that people like yourself do have a hectic schedule, and you might possibly have other obligations that you need to attend to, and I would not have a problem to therefore excuse you, and also wish you well for the work that you need to do. Thank you very much for being here this morning. We did excuse Pastor Fassi, and we wait upon the Executive Deputy Mayor to take his seat in order to proceed. Thank you very much. Honorable Executive Mayor, Executive Deputy Mayor, municipal managers, all our directors, municipal staff, the legal office, administration, and all members of council, to our interpreter, Ronel, the sign language interpreter, and then also to our language interpreter, warm welcome. To Councillor Blau, who is joining us this morning virtually, a warm welcome to you. To the members of the public who's also online, warm welcome, and to those in the gallery, welcome to the council meeting of April. It's a different kind of morning today. Not the ordinary, as we have one council seat that is empty. Member, sadly last week, fellow colleague and council member of the Mossel community, has passed on. With this morning, I have the three daughters of our late councillor Erika Meyer joining us in the gallery. It's my honor to welcome them, as council wishes to express condolences to themselves and the extended family. I'm going to ask the Executive Mayor to extend condolences on behalf of council, and then I would like to open it up for one representative per party to speak on behalf of your party and convey condolences, should anyone wishes to do so. Thank you very much, Executive Mayor.
Speaker, thank you. This morning the message of Pastor Fassi was very short, but it was also very fitting because he spoke about all the qualities that Councillor Erika also held, which was humility, kindness, compassion, seeking the greater good. I took notes while he spoke because I thought it was so fitting for this morning. So from my side, on behalf of council, I want to express our deepest condolences to the family of Erika, who was not only a colleague but also a close friend to many of us. I was looking at the empty chair and to the colleagues next to her, especially the ladies who worked almost on a daily basis very close to Erika. So from our side, our deepest condolences. Erika was a very special person, and last week I was very privileged to be at a 90th birthday at Benevolent Park, where they also had a moment of silence for late Councillor Erika Meyer. And there I spoke about leadership and how we see in the world many times, we see how leaders, they, especially in the current times, we see that many leaders express themselves very strongly and they come over very strongly. And then many times as leader of this council, I wonder if the strategy of trying to be a softer leader, not to be too hard, especially I think for men it might be a bit more difficult. Then I many times ask myself a question myself, am I the right leader? Am I not too weak? Should I be stronger? And so on. But then when I look back and I look at what Erika did, how she lived her life, and if I experience all the people, the memories, how they react, then it also made me think, and I mentioned that at the speech at Benevolent Park as well. During COVID, I was involved, and many others of us, with many many deaths of people who worked for this organization. And some of the best attended funeral functions, waar die mooiste woorde oor daai mense gelos was, where the most beautiful words were said, was not of the people in this organization who was maybe in the higher positions, but it was the people who served others. And I remember specifically to one of the tea ladies, tea girls, cleaners, who died, and how the people experienced her, the messages that gone out. And that made me realize, and with Erika's life as well, that those leaders who stay kind, humble, caring, serving, they are the leaders and the people who, according to me, will leave the lasting legacy. Speaker, I can just maybe end off by saying how symbolically important it was, the time when Erika passed away, which was over the Easter weekend, which is a time of reflecting on love, humility, kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Dankie, Speaker, vir die geleentheid. Ek dink vanaf die kant van die Vryheidsfront Plus wil ons ook vir Erika se familie wat in die paviljoen sit, ons innige meegevoel meedeel, en dan ook miskien net by te voeg. To say your mother was a silent warrior. Toe hierdie lewendal haar gerekruut het vir die politiek, toe sê hy vir my, die vrou het die respek van die mense in Mossel Bay. En dis hoekom ek vir haar rekruut, omdat die mense lief is vir haar oor die liefde wat sy uitstraal. Ek wil net sê, ek het by verskillende geleenthede saam met Erika gewerk, saam met mense wat hulp nodig het, en dan vergeet jy van wat 'n politieke party is. En dis die persoon wat sy was. Sy het nooit politieke punte probeer score as dit by die gemeenskap kom nie. Sy het hulle net gedien. Sy het net vir my gesê, Baron, moenie worry nie, man. Dis ons mense, hulle het hulp nodig en ons dien hulle. So ek wil vir die familie sê, sterkte in die moeilike tyd, en ons hoop julle gaan die deurwerk, en na die Vader julle seën in hierdie moeilike tyd. Thank you.
Goeiemôre. Namens die DA caucus en ons almal wat hier is, wil ons net vir die familie ons innige meegevoel en simpatie oordra. Tannie Erika was 'n kollega en elke keer wat ek vir gevra het Tannie Erika hoe gaan dit, dan sy geantwoord: "Die Here is op die troon, ek kan nie kla nie." So vat daai krag van julle ma en dra dit saam met julle, soos wat ons almal daai voorbeeld van haar navolg. Stel alles sterkte.
Good morning, everyone. Our condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues on our beloved Councillor Mayor. We cherish the moment that we share with her in this council and her dedication to serve the community. May Father God bring comfort during this time of difficulties to the family. When I received the message on the group, what came in my mind firstly, it's a last meeting we had with her, the committee meeting, when Councillor Fennis asked her to pray for us. That was the last time. That's what she left us. She prayed for the council. Thank you.
Speaker, I also would like on behalf of the ACDP to extend our condolences to the family, the friends, the colleagues, all of us in council that have got to know Councillor Erika Meyer. In our condolences that we sent in as well, we expressed our heartfelt gratitude for the humility with which she served. I can't add anything to what my colleagues have said. I think we are all in agreement that despite political party differences, we were able to get along and work with Councillor Meyer because she cared for the community. And it was very obvious in everything that she did. And we just want to extend our thanks to her family for the time that they never had with her because she was serving others. God bless you all.
Councillor Blau, would you like to say something from your side?
Goeiemôre Speaker, ja, goeiemôre almal in die council chamber. Hier wat ek sit, voel ek die emosie deur hierdie rekenaar. Ek wil net vir die kinders sê van Raadslid Erika dat ons is so jammer. En ek weet sy het hulle gelos met 'n sterkte en 'n stille krag en hulle sal deur dit kom. Maar in hierdie geval dat alle politiek maak nie meer saak nie, want aan die einde van die dag is ons almal net mense. En vir die kort rukkie wat ek die council geken het, as ek bly voor, want van elke liewe councilor in daai council chamber leer ek elke dag iets van. En soos die burgemeester genoem het, haar stille krag. En dit is wat ek gaan wegvat. So weer eens al my simpatie van nie net vir die kinders nie, maar vir die hele gemeenskap van Mossel Bay.
Thank you very much, Councillor Krieger, and to the members of council who conveyed their condolences. I would now like to give an opportunity to our accounting officer on behalf of the administration to share a few words. Thank you.
Speaker, councillors, colleagues, dit is 'n hartseer gebeurtenis, Speaker. Ons gaan die raadslid baie mis. As amptenare, ek is hier van 1996 af, ek is hier van dat die raadslid in die raad gekom het. Ek kan nie een skewe woord van haar sê in die Speaker. Inteendeel, ek kan net goed praat van julle ma volgens. Die een ding wat vir my uitgestaan het, en ek dink burgemeester, al die raadslede sal saamstem, is die grootste trait wat 'n kind van die Here moet hê, is nederigheid. Die raadslid het vir my nederigheid verpersoonlik. Hoekom sê ek dit? Speaker, ek was in verskeie gemeenskapsvergaderings met raadslid Erika Meyer, waar individue haar practically uitgehaal het, beledig het, en sy het nie 'n woord teruggesê nie. Dit, mense, is die grootste kwaliteit van iemand wat nederig is. When people hit you, Councillor Gous, where people, hulle beskuldig jou van alle slegte goed, maar jy sê nie 'n woord terug nie. The Bible teaches us that pride comes before destruction and haughtiness before the fall. Councillor Erika se lewe vir my was omgekeerd van dit. Sy was nooit haughty gewees nie. Sy het haarself altyd minder geag, soos Raadsit Kwaso ook gesê het, as die volgende persoon. En ek dink, Speaker, ek het toe ons die huis, die kinders besoek het by hulle ma, het ek 'n skrif gelees in die boek van Jesaja, en ek wil weer die skrif, as jy my sal toelaat, Speaker, net herhaal. Want dit is vir my 'n baie, baie belangrike skrif. 'n sterfte kan een van twee dinge teweeg bring, Speaker. Dit bring hartseer terug, want ons as mens het nog nooit geleer hoe om met die dood te hanteer nie. Meyer responded to Good Friday, to the Easter weekend. As ons gaan mooi lees wat die skrifte sê rondom Easter Friday, die Easter weekend, dan die Bybel probeer ons leer hoe om die dood te hanteer. In die geval, Speaker, hou ek graag voor aan die skrif in Isaiah 57, verse 1 and 2. Hy sê, good people pass away, the godly often die before their time, but no one seems to care or wonder why. No one seems to understand that God is protecting them from the evil to come. Ons weet nie wat op ons paie is nie. Psalms 139 sê, net God weet elke oomblik van jou lewe nog lang voordat dit gebeur het. So die dag wanneer calamity ons stryk, Speaker, moet ons weet, God het geweet nog voordat jy gebore was, so 'n dag gaan kom in jou lewe, en daarom moet ons hoop hê. Vers 2 is vir my baie belangrik. Hy sê, for those who follow godly paths, will rest in peace when they die. Dis 'n belofte van God. Raadsit Erika het wat my betref godly paths gevolg. Hoekom sê ek so? Die nederige gees wat sy geopenbaar het. Dit wat sy gedoen het vir haar medemens, die klappe, die dwarsklappe wat sy gevat het, sonder dat dit verdien was, Speaker, sonder om 'n woord te sê. Dit sê vir my, 'n mens is nederig. En met nederigheid kan 'n mens kom in die plek waar God wil jy moet kom. Namens die amptenare vir die 3 dogters, en die een lyk net die ma, wil ons net sê, ons innige medelee. Wees verseker dat ons waardeer het as amptenaar wat jou ma gedoen het. Ek dink jou ma het ooit een van die 1000 amptenare geplan nie, of 'n skewe woord aan hulle gesê nie. So, baie dankie van ons kant af vir die tyd wat jou ma kon dien. En onthou, julle is altyd in ons harte, julle is altyd in ons gebede ook. En ons glo, die ander vrae wat julle vandag het, sal op die regte tyd deur God beantwoord word vir julle. Baie dankie, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager. Warm welcome to Councillor Porter. Councillor Porter, I'd like to also afford you an opportunity. All the members of council, party representatives, shared condolences. With respect to the passing of Councillor Meyers, I would also like to afford you an opportunity. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, everybody. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I just want to say sincere condolences to the daughters and the rest of the family of Councillor Erika Meyer. I pray that Father will be with you during these trying times, and that He will be the comfort that you need during these times.
Thank you very much. Our late Councillor Erika Meyer has served as council in the greater community of Mossel by over 3 terms. At the time when we joined, in 2011, Councillor Gous, I was the youngest of the team. Others have been fortunate to work with her for a long time. She was both a colleague and a friend and a mother. And I can only echo the words that were shared by the colleagues, that she served with distinction and humility. And she was a perfect example of what a servant should be. And I believe we will now only have the greatest honor to continue keeping her legacy alive by taking at least one page from a story. On behalf of myself and my own family, condolences to yourselves and the rest of your family, and best wishes for the last funeral arrangements and strength ahead of Saturday, where you will be laying your mother to rest. I would now like to call upon the Executive Mayor and the Municipal Manager and the three daughters to come to the front, and the Mayor will hand over as an honorary gesture the name board of Council Erika Meyer to her daughters. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. We're now going to take a 10-minute break and then reconvene to start with our council meeting. Thank you very much. If councillors wish to sympathize, then you can go. Now there's a handover also taking place. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just wait upon the council whip. Thank you very much, everybody. Council will now reconvene on Romans 2 of our agenda. Just like to request that everybody please sign our attendance register. I am aware that it has been circulated. I can just see where the register are. Okay, can just go that way. Thank you so much. Then on Romans 3 of our agenda, we are at the applications for leave of absence. My office have received apology for councillors Kutsia and Buddha, and then just would also like to bring to your attention that Alderman Furness will be excused at 11 o'clock for a doctor's appointment. Thank you very much. No other apologies, everybody is present. We then move to Roman 4 on our agenda, which is the disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 7, the Code of Conduct for Councillors in terms of the Local Government Municipal Structures Act. Is there any councillor who wishes to disclose interest on any of the items on our agenda? None, thank you very much. We move. Roman 5, disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for Officials of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act. Can I please hear from the Is there any disclosure?
Nothing to disclose, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move Roman 6, confirmation and signing of our previous council minutes. Before council is the minutes of our open council meeting that was held on Thursday, the 27th of March 2025, with folio numbers 364 to 498. Can I please ask a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the minutes.
Thank you very much. A proposal for acceptance. Alderman Mandela-Main. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much. Councillor van Dijk, is there anybody who wishes to raise anything from that specific minutes? See the lights of Councillor Mkuntu and then Councillor Gous in that order. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Through you, Madam Speaker, I will say in page 6, the communication of mayor, and page 30, the motion. Madam Speaker, those written minutes, they are not true reflection of what I said. I will ask the people that are writing the minutes to go and listen the records and write the correct minutes. Because whatever they are saying there, I didn't say in like that.
Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention, Councillor Mkuntu. We take note and I request Municipal Manager that it kindly be attended to. Thank you so much. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would, through you, want to just ask clarity from the Freedom Front regarding the replacement of a councillor on the disciplinary committee. Because if I recall correctly, there was a discussion in the chambers. Freedom Front did originally offer another recommendation, but if I remember, it was resolved in council, and then because the minutes say that the Freedom Front actually then voted against the item. If it was so, then I'm fine with that, but that wasn't what I recalled happened. I understood that there was a discussion regarding the names mentioned as an expert. A recommendation came from the DA. There was an objection to that from the Freedom Front. Said that yes, it is his responsibility and he will take that responsibility. He notes the recommendations. That's the way I recall it. And I don't find it represented like that in the minutes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Councillor Gous. I just want to also get clarity from you. You speaking about the disciplinary committee, but listening to what you said in terms of what happened, are you speaking around the panel?
Yes, my
the
apologies.
the
Please,
panel formulation
The
for
appointment.
the. Okay.
That's correct.
All right. Now we're then on the same page. I thank you very much, Council. I didn't sleep last night, but I can recall exactly what took place. Councillor Gous, yes, I will ask Councillor Baron to confirm in terms of clarity. However, I do understand that at the end of the day, it was unanimously resolved with reference to the proposal that was made after a long deliberation, and Councillor Baron did confirm that. But I'd like to give an opportunity to Councillor Baron to just put that on record.
No, Madam Speaker, I think you are absolutely right. We resolved the matter. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Gous is then indicating that the reflection of the minutes is then incorrect because Councillor Baron, Municipal Manager, was not against. It was resolved unanimously. Can I ask that be corrected, please? Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Gous. Sorted. Thank you very much. We then move to the minutes of the special council meeting that was held on Thursday, the 31st of March, 2025, with folio numbers 498 to 501. Please ask for proposal in this regard.
Madam Speaker, I will propose. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Can I have a seconder, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Talamine. Is there any corrections from the minutes of that meeting? None agreed to. Thank you so much. We then move to the minutes of the special council meeting which was held on Monday, the 7th of April 2025, folio numbers 501 to 507. Now ask for proposal, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the minutes.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamine. Is there a seconder, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you so much, Councillor van Dijk. Anybody wishes to do any corrections or speak to the minutes? Agreed to. Thank you very much. We move. Roman 7, cognizance of the Executive Mayor's and Deputy Executive Mayor's resolutions in terms of their delegated authority as provided for in Section 591A of the Act on Local Government. It's the Municipal Systems Act. Before councils, the following items: FC 18 to FC 23, G12 to G16, CS 23 to CS 31, PE 40 to PE 51, T14 to T19, items CG 12 to CG 15, and then UB 16 to UB 18. Please ask for proposal.
Madam Speaker, I will propose. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Can I have a seconder, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do second the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Talamine. Is there anybody who wishes to speak to any of the items? Thank you, Councillor Gous. You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Just for clarity, I can't see the almost 300,000 Rand bad debt written off. For what period that was? If we could just perhaps in those minutes just have that indication, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. The MM would like to respond.
Speaker, I was hoping somebody asked a question so I can
Ja, raadslid
take
Gous
the,
sal altyd dit vra.
Adani Gerber of Oud. Speaker, you are aware that every council meeting we receive questions which the officials don't have the answer to immediately. And normally we go back and try and find the answers, and we want to disseminate it now. Last month's council meeting, there were eight items. Questions were asked which we didn't have the answers here. I received the answer Councillor Gous is referring to, but I also received the other answer, Speaker. Will it be possible, and I want to thank the administration because they did a sterling work, to find all the answers, that in future we compile an action list, Speaker, and we distribute the questions and the answers to all of the councillors who were in the meeting, so that everybody can get it as soon as possible. Then it might not be necessary to have other questions and so on. But to come back to that question, I can confirm that the department said that the debt was for December 24 and January 25. That was a period that they spoke about, Councillor. But I will, Speaker, for the 27th meeting, we will distribute all the questions and answers to the councillors. And Speaker, I'm going to be honest, where we can't answer a question, we're going to be frank and say it not bluntly, we're going to say it friendly, we can't answer the question and so on. Yeah. Or we might need more information on some of the issues. Thank you, Speaker.
Indeed, Municipal Manager, we must always act honestly, and if you don't have the answer and you need time, then I think we won't be unreasonable. I also like to thank you, and I welcome the format of how you wishes to proceed in terms of the questions. I think it's important that we open it up so that council members can also have clarity, and it would be best then, of course, if it is in writing. So thank you for that, and I welcome it, and you may proceed to do so. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you to the and the administration for that. That was, as the MMS said, for the previous month. I'm talking about this month's decisions made by the and the mayor, because in the MM's decisions as well, there's also an amount written off. Let me just see here. Also almost 300,000 written off. And there's no clear dates in those items for which period they were. I would assume then that it's a 2 or 3 monthly period, I'm not sure. But if we could just maybe in those items have clarity on that, it would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gous.
Speaker, I see the acting CFO is also looking at it. I don't think he must help me. There will be a problem if we can, in the item, state the period that the bad debt stretches over. Yeah, we can do that. We will do that.
Thank you very much, Acting CFO. We welcome that. That then concludes that inquiry of Councillor Gous. If there's none other, we move. Roman 8 on our agenda, cognizance of the municipal manager's resolutions in terms of delegated authority as per Council Resolution E215 08 of 2024 as provided for in Section 591A on the Act of Local Government, which is the Municipal Systems Act. For Council is items GM11 to GM22. Now please have a proposal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Proposing that Council take cognizance. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Any questions on these items? Councillor Gous, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would also just like, I don't need the answers now, but if we can receive the answers to this, and if in the future we could perhaps have these answers in the items, it will be helpful. In Reebok, almost 700 square meters was renewed lease to a private person for 570 Rand per year. There's no address there, so I wasn't able to go and take a look. But to me, a 700 square meter is a considerable piece of property and could possibly be a residential earth. So I'm not sure if it's just blocked in by other urban or what the reason is that we are renting it for that price. And then also I noticed there've been 4 or more cameras installed that link to the jock. The concern for me here is with items that we've got further on in the agenda regarding the legal issues with these items. In this item, it actually states, because if I've understood the legal opinions correctly, part of it has said that we must not be procuring services when we make these donations. And yet in these items we're stating that it's to enhance public safety and to comply with the Mossel Bay Municipality's community safety plan. So I think that might be a concern for us. We need to look at that. And then also the veggie garden for 3 years. I'm not understanding from that item who's benefiting from the lease of that land. It's also, it's 5,114 square meters. And then the approval for the settlement offer of a legal case, Mr. J. Mayer. If we could just be told what that was for, Speaker, and also the amount that it was settled for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. Did you gather all the
I'm looking
inquiries?
for the GM numbers. You don't have the GM numbers at hand. I know the first one is GM11, and I think GM14 is the next one, the LPR cameras. And what was the third one, Councillor, again?
The veggie garden.
Veggie garden.
And Councillor Gous wished to know who the beneficiaries.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand if it's in,
Executive Mayor.
Speaker, I just want us to, we're putting our administration in an impossible position. In terms of Rule 69, there's a clear process how we should address questions to Council. We can maybe just stick to that, please.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor.
Speaker, if you'll allow me, yes, I did actually, when I asked the questions, I did state that I don't expect answers now if they can't be given.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. Municipal Manager, there's then 3 questions. Can I? You don't have to.
Speaker, we obviously won't have all the answers, but the first question that Councillor Gous asked, the item says that the reason why they're renting the land is for parking and gardening purposes, so they're not going to build on it. I think the value of the land was calculated on that purpose. They cannot build on it, for instance, like on a normal stand. The other questions, we will have to come back to Councillor Gous for the answers. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. I am comfortable with that. Councillor Gous then ruled that the will then provide you with the responses of the other 2 questions. Councillors, is there any other? You may. Councillor Gwaza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the minutes, Madam Speaker, on the item, it was E59. Mr. Naidu was not here. I did ask a question about the pumping station, the amount of 7.7 million. That was said that it was appointed. It was appointed. Mossel Bay Municipality is appointed as implementing agency as per council resolutions. I needed the date when these resolutions was taken, and they say that they will, as Director Naidu was not here, they say they will let him know so that I can be able to get answers for that pumping station. Thank
you very much, Councillor Gwaza. I am. Can I just quickly?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Speaker, I will now be out of order. So call me out of order. I understand that when we go through the minutes, the previous minutes at the next council meeting, according to me, we must just deal with the minutes correct or incorrect. Let us rather have the information before this next meeting. Understand the information the councillor Gous asked, it must be provided, but not in this meeting, before this meeting. Because for this, just one thing, minutes are correct or incorrect. Thank you.
Thank you. Agree to. Can I just thank you, Councillor Kwaza, for your question. I'm going to request that Director Naidu then provide. You don't have to respond now. Provide, and I'm anticipating that you might not have the information, but if you can just then provide after the council meeting or whenever suitable a response to Councillor Kwaza. Councillor Kwaza, that's then my ruling. Thank you very much. Director Naidu, if it's also in order with you. Thank you very much. We are then, councillors, at Roman 9, which is the communications of the Executive Mayor. I now hand over to Alderman Kutzer. Thank you.
Speaker, thank you very much. So I'm going to share some snippets of events and so on that happened over the month and that will happen. So as we continue to build a thriving, united and forward-moving Mossel Bay, I'm proud to highlight key initiatives and events shaping our community. Conservation Day is the first topic. So Mossel Bay Municipality, as part of its growth strategy, places strong emphasis on fostering a healthy environment. We actively support conservation initiatives and collaborate with like-minded organizations to promote sustainability. So please join us on April 26 from 9 to 1 at the Mossel Bay Town Hall to learn about conservation groups, organizations, projects and initiatives in the greater Mossel Bay area. This event is coordinated by the Mossel Bay Conservation Forum under the leadership of Dana Bay Conservancy, a non-profit organization established by council. Then the next topic is No Girl Left Behind, sanitary pad project. And it was quite interesting, Speaker, to learn that 83% of girls lack access to hygiene products during menstruation. Shockingly, 1 in 4 learners misses school monthly due to this challenge. The St. Blaise Liu Club is launching a No Girl Left Behind pads project, which is an essential initiative to collect sanitary products and advocate for accessible distribution points throughout Mossel Bay. Their mission is to remove barriers to dignity and education for young girls, and more information will be forthcoming in our newsletter and on social media of how and where contributions can be made, Speaker. Then in terms of events, upcoming events, the Garden Route 4x4 Expo will take place this weekend. The Garden Route 4x4 Expo comprises thrilling family fun featuring South Africa's largest inflatable obstacle course, April 26 to May 3 at Bartelsfontein Farm. And yeah, it will be 8 days of non-stop action, music and entertainment. And this year's lineup include live music performances, local talent showcases, a car exhibition, wine tasting, arts, food, decor, and more. Then we also have the Mighty Men Conference that returned to Mossel Bay in May from the 9th to the 11th. And we honor and welcome Mr. Zain Maas, Gary Kieswetter, Dewald Gous, and David van der Westhuizen as speakers, and then also a special thanks to Mr. Lucas Swart and Ms. Beryl van Rijn and the Mighty Men Mossel Bay team for their dedication to making this event a success, and we wish them also the best of luck. Then, Speaker, I just want to reiterate again our fraud hotline and whistleblower policy, and I want to thank our administration once again for the work they did on this. It's not a new policy, but I just want to reiterate it again. We've had inquiries from other municipalities asking how we deal with this, and we shared our policy in terms of this, but it's important that we also communicate this once again to our residents, and that they are aware that we do have this hotline and that we have a whistleblower policy, and that there is incentives for people who can bring it under our attention when there's any transgressions taking place in town. Then in terms of infrastructure, we're very proud of the work that's been rolled out by Director Naidu and his team. If I can do the wrong thing by singling out one director because they all doing an excellent job. But I wanted to highlight, I've received some questions from the community regarding infrastructure around Dana Bay. And at this stage, 93.97 million rand upgrade is currently underway at the Pinnacle Point wastewater treatment plant, ensuring sustainable water management. Funding of 69.53 million from the municipal infrastructure grant was received, and next month, let me leave that, and the expected completion will be July 2025. And then once again, Speaker, obviously this is money that's been spent in a specific ward, but which will benefit actually a massive section of Mossel Bay, which include various wards. Then returning to events that happened, the squash World Squash Championship qualifier took place. Council also donated 20,000 rand towards that function, and then or that championship. And then we also had the South African National Junior Tug of War, and then we also had the Arthur Johnson Sport Week in Mossel Bay. It was the 43rd Arthur Johnson Sport Week, and 36 rugby teams, hockey and netball teams included El Nathan Private School all the way from Stampriet in Namibia were here in Mossel Bay. And as part of our strategy, growing our economy and trying to create jobs and obviously sport and tourism development, Speaker, we are very proud of all these events taking place in Mossel Bay. And I just want to also single out again Director Nell's department. We were there the morning when they opened the tug of war. Next year I can also mention that we will have the World Championship for the seniors. This was only the nationals for juniors. I'm not sure if the juniors will be here as well next year. But so next year will be even bigger. With this they had the international conference as well. So all the leaders and major role players of tug of war internationally were also in Mossel Bay to see how this nationals will go and to see if South Africa and Mossel Bay is capable to hold or be able to cope with the international event. And yeah, it was beautifully organized, but the morning it was quite rainy and wet, and when they started with the first tug of war, I could see Director Nell's face because of obviously their boots and grass flying, and we had the Arthur Johnson Sport Week only a week after that, at the next week. So Director Nell, thank you very much for your team. We know we've had various correspondence from Point High School where they were very worried, and yeah, at the end of the day they were very thankful for the way that everything was ready for the Arthur Johnson Sport Week again. Then we also obviously had the Buffalo Rally, and I want to also thank the Public Safety Directorate for all the hard work that took place there. The municipal peace officers, law enforcement personnel, K9 unit, they all played a vital role in the Buffalo Rally's public safety plan, and 18 officers deployed throughout the weekend to assist it to ensure that everybody stays safe. Chair, yeah, and then I just want to end off by honoring once again the empty chair and long-lasting legacy of Councillor Erika Meyer. It was an honor to serve with her, and I think all of us can agree. And on Saturday, there's various funeral services throughout the week, and then on Saturday, the final burial will take place, and I suppose that communication will also go out. But yeah, we honor the work that she has done and the legacy that she has left. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much indeed, Executive Mayor. Comprehensive report, and also for the work being done, and for your role in that regard. We thank you. Councillor Gous, I note your hand. As per the rules, there's no debate after the Mayor has given his speech. However, I will allow you to say what you would like to say at this stage.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, just to thank the Mayor and the administration for the assistance. I think he mentioned it's an MP NGO that is trying to assist these young women at school. And if I can just offer a small contribution, that we perhaps consider not monthly sanitary pads, which are costly and have to be renewed every month, but also are not good for the environment, and rather look at a menstrual cup, which is a once-off purchase, and yeah, much more environmentally friendly. I know that Director Community Services hosted a day with the lady councillors at one stage regarding an organisation that supplies them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. I believe that the Mayor has taken note. I don't know if the Mayor wishes to comment. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the point that I throw in here now at the Mayor's speech, I do it now here because there's nothing on the agenda to throw it in. I don't want to bring a motion. And it's about, the Mayor was speaking about the events taking place in Mossel Bay. So actually we need our security to be uptight. And currently I'm very much worried about what happened there at the in Afrikaans die vullisgate daar in die main road. As jy nou Kwanangaba se vullisgate toe gaan, dan is jy die veiligste mens op die planeet, want daar's orde daar. Maar as jy daar, ek wil nie meer daar ingaan nie. Ek het my laaste keer daar ingegaan, is dangerous. As jy by Kwanangaba se polisie se oorlêstasie ingaan, dan gaan hulle jou stop en hulle vra wat het jy hier, en dan gaan hulle jou sê waar jy moet dit gaan gooi. As jy daar inkom by die ander ene, dan is het letterlijk chaos. Just as 'n bietjie gevaarlik. Dankie, Madam Speaker, I'm finished.
Ja, dankie, Raadslid Baronet. Vandaag gesê, daar wat ek wil beklei nie. Jy het 'n cap daar gevat.
Madam Speaker.
Ek gaan die sweep sy punt af orde gee.
Madam Speaker, I know you've allowed councillors to speak, but I must object to councillors speaking after the Mayor. If they want to talk during communications by the Executive Mayor, they can do so when they become the Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Botha. Mayor, there was a proposal to you by Councillor Gous.
Speaker, I don't know if I can go against my own whip, but I think the one is actually a service delivery issue. I don't think that will be a problem that we take that up with Councillor Baron, and then I also want to just maybe afterwards have a short discussion with Councillor Gous. I can mention that I'm thankful, and I think all of us can be on a daily basis, and I never try to use this as a political tool, but the Mayoral Fund daily contributes, colleagues. This stage, our fund is looking healthy, and Speaker, I'm actually also now taking a small gap, if you will allow me.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. The Mayoral Fund at this stage, we were gonna have a ball, and the ticket sales were so slow that we decided to cancel. We were afraid that we're gonna make a loss. But yeah, luckily there's various institutions, organizations, and obviously our own hard work that continuously contribute towards that fund. And obviously this council's got a policy, and legal services and the whole administration look at all the donations that are going out. But because of that fund, the money that's in there, colleagues, we can really assist many times people that is actually impossible to do otherwise. And this is exactly the same with this alliance with the young girls who's driving this project as well. We can contribute. We normally don't do big contributions because there's daily requests, and we try to assist as many people as possible. But definitely towards some of these projects, one can maybe prioritize it a bit more and make bigger contributions. So, yeah, Councillor Gous, I will also take up some of the suggestions, that we can discuss it afterwards. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, Mayor. And then the other one was that service request for the oorlêstasie. All right. Thank you, Council Whip. It is your job to ensure that we all stick by the rules, and I do welcome that. Councillors, for the future and the rest of the meeting, please kindly also ensure that you also adhere to that. However, yeah, council whip at times will be lenient, and today is such a morning. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everybody. At the communications of the speaker now, from my side, the funeral arrangements for our late councillor is as follows. Alderman Boyson, will you be able to assist me now with those details? Can you switch on your light, please?
So, I think Council Leader can help. Elderly Grace can help me. I think tonight is a memorial service at the house at 7 o'clock, and then at the house Saturday 10 o'clock, and at All Saints Church 11 o'clock.
Okay, that sounds about right. I think I also got that detail. And it's well, everybody's welcome to attend. Elderly Director.
Speaker, the address is 260 St. Place Street.
Thank you very much. And everybody knows where the All Saints Church is in Ward 9. Then before us, from my side, congratulations, wishes to our council whip, who has celebrated his birthday on the 2nd of April. Councillor Botha, on behalf of council, happy birthday, wishing you a blessed year, all that is well. And also, yes, you will soon become a father. Why is Alderman Boyson now laughing? And I would also like to wish yourself and your wife a happy journey and all of the best in that regard. Then on the 28th of April, which is in 4 days' time, our executive mayor will be celebrating his birthday. And Mayor, on behalf of council, well wishes for you. I know that God will keep you until your birthday and beyond. Jy raak nou bietjie gereis. Maar daar is goeie redes vir dit. Wish you good health, and thank you very much for the work that you do for our beautiful town. May God continue to keep you, bless you, grant you wisdom and insight in order to lead us. We wish you well. En die koek vir die raad kan by volgende raadsvergadering kom. Colleagues, then sadly we also have a list of residents from our town who has passed on, and it's very emotional to see also added to this list the name of our late councillor mayor. Would like to ask you to join me for a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much, everybody. You may all be seated. We are then at Roman 10 of our agenda, which is written questions received. Municipal Manager, Executive Mayor, have you received any questions?
None, Speaker.
None from the Executive Mayor,
Speaker, as usual, we received numerous questions. We tried to answer all of them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager. Councillors, we then at our agenda for this morning, page 508. First item, item E85, section 67 of the MFMA before council, funds transferred by municipalities to organizations and bodies outside the government. You have the content of the item and the recommendations that are before council. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I will propose. Thank you.
Morning, Alderman Furness. Thank you so much. Can I have a seconder, please?
Good morning, Speaker. I second.
Morning, Councillor Clausen. Thank you very much. Opening up for questions, input. I see the light of Councillor Liebenberg. Councillor Liebenberg, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. I have two questions for clarity. But before that, I just want to go on this item, first page, under the heading Discussion and Motivation. The third paragraph, and I quote, "It was decided on the 13th August 2025 by the MM," unquote. So actually nothing has been decided because we are still awaiting August 2025.
Councillor Liebenberg, the MM is wide awake here.
It's a mistake, Councillor. I think Mr. Leroux would have pointed it out. It's supposed to be 2024. And not 25 hasn't come as yet, yeah.
Thank you, Municipal Manager. Councillor Liebenberg.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my first question, the management report of 2022-23 that is mentioned here. My question is, has it been submitted to Council? And then question number 2, through you, Speaker, to our legal department. Legal department says that they advised that the circular are not be adopted nor be considered binding on Council. If you can just elaborate for me on the advice.
Thank you very much for your questions, Councillor Liebenberg. Mr. Prince.
Speaker, thank you very much for the question. Speaker, in terms of section 168 of the MFMA, if a circular is submitted by Treasury to Council and Council accepts it, then it's binding. In this instance, it's the opinion that there are various grey areas in the circular, and to prevent Council from being bound, it is proposed or advised, based on legal opinion received, that we do not adopt the circular as such, but that we associate with the guidelines contained there. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Councillor Kwaza, was your light on? Not at this stage. You covered, okay. Is there any? Councillor Baron? Thank you.
Speaker, the Freedom Front Plus is against this item E85.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what we also ask is whoever is voting for this item, we really want a head count to be done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Freedom Front on record with their position against. I see the light of Vasi Roylachi. Thank you. My apologies, Councillor Botha and then Councillor Kwaza.
Madam Speaker, no, thank you. We just want to thank legal for their advice. If you read section 67, it mentions their donations to organizations or bodies outside the sphere of government, otherwise than in compliance with a commercial or business transaction. But if you read the circular, the wording there does not make mention of commercial or business transactions. It makes use of goods or services as terminology. And as far as I understand, it is still the imperative of Parliament to make legislation and not of subordinate structures. So I do believe that advising us to associate with but not adopt is the sound way to move forward in this regard. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Botha. For your convenience, on page 509, directly under the relevant legislation, that is what the Act there says. Councillor Kwaza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll go to the discussion, second paragraph.
Yes.
I quote. It says, in 2023/2024, in order to avoid a repeat findings, as we know that we had a meeting last year, so we requested that we haven't received the request, what we requested, that more comprehensive report and the breakdown of the costs and the list which councillors were involved. So we're still waiting that, and what it says there, to avoid repeating the findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gwaza. Councillor Baron.
Speaker, we didn't receive from the request of Mr. Liebenberg if we can have the management report in our possession as councillors.
Thank you. Management report and then Councillor Gwaza's question.
Yeah, Speaker, the management report of the AG is not a public document. For that reason, we never bring it to council. The management report is a document whereby the AG informs the administration of why they had certain findings and so on. So we cannot, no municipality make that public. It's not a public document. We do, however, submit a report with the annual report, which is public, which we give to council as Speaker. So it's not a public document.
Thank you very much.
We won't have a problem, Speaker, if a councillor wants to come to my office and look at the report. We will definitely not have a problem, but we cannot give that information out into the public domain.
Thank you. That's acceptable to Councillor Baron. He understands. Indeed. Councillor Gwaza,
Speaker, I won't be able to address the question of Councillor Gwaza now. It has to do with specifics which we don't have here. This item is to basically submit a circular from National Treasury, which they said we must take it to council. Yeah?
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager, Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, regarding the management report, particularly the fact that this finding was made 2 years ago, and the impact, as a member of the impact committee, I'm shocked that it wasn't shared with us, even if it was shared with us confidentially. So it's really a concern for me that this is now being presented to us in council like this. I'm not of the opinion that we should ignore a National Treasury guideline. We know that the Auditor General, even according to this item, takes instruction from National Treasury. I'm of the opinion that we're actually putting our municipal manager at risk. And the ACDP will not support this item.
Thank you.
And I would like to, Speaker, second the proposal of the Freedom Front that a roll call be done regarding how people vote on this item. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. ICDP on record against, and your input is noted. Councillor Gwaza, and then the Mayor.
ANC, Madam Speaker, against.
Thank you very much. ANC on record that they are against. Executive Mayor.
Okay, now I just want to, there was mentioned we're ignoring the guideline, which is basically legislation through the back door, but we're definitely not ignoring it. I think that's why I also want to thank legal services and our finance department. Many hours went into this discussion. Legal opinion was asked, and obviously we will, moving forward, still have to think how we're going to deal with this. So we're definitely applying our mind, and I also think it's the right thing for now that we do agree with the principles of this circular, but that we do not adopt it because we're still applying our mind and see how we're going to deal with it. And we might even obviously differ with some of the opinions of National Treasury. But obviously we do understand the seriousness of this, and that's why we got also external opinion. And moving forward, we will definitely have to tread carefully. We don't want to lose clean audits. We don't want to be seen as trying to do the wrong thing, Speaker. But we must also understand that this kind of circulars comes at a cost to the community, comes at a cost towards service delivery, various organizations who it's going to be a lot more difficult to assist, like the SPCA and so on, while legislation also allow for donations to be made. We understand that we should not try to avoid the procurement process. And for that, we should apply our mind that we ensure also that we do not do that, as Councillor Gous mentioned, but one example that might be perceived as that. So we will have to get our house in order and ensure that is definitely not what we're doing. But there is definitely a benefit also. We've seen that through the current structure that we've got. We've seen how various institutions, there's a lot of criticism against councillors who are serving on these boards, and we might have to change that possibly to that they don't are members anymore, but only they're in an ex officio capacity. But at this stage, we see the benefits of members who's been elected by the community, who's serving on this council, who's playing a critical role. I don't think it's very difficult to see the effect or the benefits. We can only look at Mossel Bay Tourism, the excellent work they're doing. We know that a few years back there were some worries that some business people ran Mossel Bay Tourism as an example to their own benefit. And because there's now public representatives gatekeeping, we ensure that that's not happening. And I think the effect that it's all clear. Other towns see our tourism in Mossel Bay as very effective, and not only other towns, but people also indicate how they're feeling with their feet. And as we all know, we have been hailed after the December holidays as the #1 and #2 tourist destination in South Africa. And obviously, we can say it's because we are delivering services and doing a great job. There's obviously various other factors, but definitely one of them is Mossel Bay Tourism, who's playing a critical and important role. So there is criticism, but there's also positives and benefits. Speakers, I'm going to end off. This is a circular that we will also definitely take up with the Minister of Finance. I've already started that process yesterday, and then we will take it from there, and then obviously we need to see how we can work with and not against our own national government. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Councillor Gous, before I bring the matter to a vote.
Thank you, Speaker, for a second opportunity. Speaker, I am concerned as well about, for example, it wasn't listed yet. I assume we might actually still get to it as the municipality starts investigating all the different grants and donations that have been made. But one of the biggest motivations for the giving of money, a couple of millions now over the last few years, probably close on 10 million to the Ironman competition, has been that it procures advertisement for the Mossel Bay municipality. That's been our motivation for giving money to this private company. I don't want to belabor the fact, the ACDP has opposed that, because I can't see why somebody that's coming to the town to make money cannot come here and we can give him the free services that we give other organizations, but to pay somebody to come to our town to make money just doesn't make any sense to me. And I suspect that this is going to also fall under the same blanket. It's going to be an issue as well. Then, Speaker, I would like to just raise an objection to the fact that despite what our mayor has said now, and I hear what he's saying, but then why, when I request the financial statements of organizations that are benefiting from donations or cheap leases, etc., from this Mossel Bay municipality, am I told I cannot receive it?
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous, for your comments and input made. Executive Mayor.
Speaker, yeah, I think that's maybe also why it's important to acknowledge the role of entrepreneurs, not only in the community but also in this council, because as an entrepreneur, I can definitely highlight the enormous benefit of bringing the Ironman to Mossel Bay. The very same reason why the city of Cape Town, they're continuously working to get events to their city. This is our only massive event, and as we've seen, if we read the report by the independent company that the Ironman institution use, the return on investment was more than 50 million rand to this town. So, yes, obviously the added benefits, definitely not for advertisement purposes. It's to get money into our town, because those very entrepreneurs out there who pay their municipal bills, they also employ people in this town, which at the end of the day, if your business is making money, you can employ people, creating better lives for people, and that's what we're actually after. Each and every event coming to our town is not to advertise Mossel Bay. As a businessman, advertisement obviously is very important, but at the end of the day, you need feet, and that is what we're trying to create, getting people to our town and any other city that's worth their salt. And then just in terms of asking for financials of other institutions, Speaker, I think it's quite a straightforward answer. External institutions, if you want to get information from them, I suppose you should ask it for them. Yes, on some of these non-profits, we are part of that, but the question should go to the non-profit, obviously not to the municipal manager, because he is not the chairperson of that non-profit or running that non-profit. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to bring this matter to a vote.
Speaker, my apologies. If I may just follow up with that.
Councillor Gous, yeah.
Thank you so much.
The last
Speaker.
time
Yes.
now, Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Porter.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, in terms of Rule 47, a councillor may speak once on a matter before council, unless authorized by the Speaker otherwise. You've given ample opportunity, and we've started to drift off the relevance of the item, which is the Section 67 item circular before council, and how we should handle that matter. If we can please return to relevance on the item at hand, and if we can then vote on the matter, that would be preferable. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Final ruling, debate is closed. Now I'm going to
Speaker,
bring the
point
now,
of order.
Councillor Gous. Thank you very
A
much.
point of order, Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Gous, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I rise on a point of order, personal explanation, as my question has been misunderstood.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, regarding relevance, this council is being asked to endorse a decision that is being made regarding how we spend money in the council chambers. It's very relevant. If I may, on a point of personal explanation, Speaker, just clarify what I'm saying. We cannot say that the Iron Man is giving us an independent report when it's somebody that the Iron Man is employing to give them a report. And then when we give these leases and we give these grant fundings, part of our stipulations state that those NPCs, NPOs, the golf club, etc., have to submit their annual financial statements to the Mossel Bay Municipality. So there's no need for a councillor of the Mossel Bay Municipality to approach each and every one of these organizations individually. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. Councillor Krieger, I'm going to start with you. We're doing a head count. If you can just confirm your position on the item on record. Thank you very much. Councillor Krieger.
Ja, Speaker, Ikosa will abstain from this item.
Thank you very much. We have Ikosa who is abstaining. I'm going to start on my left-hand side with Councillor Mkuntu.
Mzwandile Mkondo Zwayi against.
Thank you very much.
Zithulele Majesini against.
Thank you very much.
Notolo Gwaza against.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Jeanette Gous, abstain.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Porter, against.
Thank you very much.
Igama lami ngusibabala kwaDubula from the ANC against.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Retabile Situnta in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Mvumvu in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Reiters in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Kannemeyer in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor van Rensburg, support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor van Dijk in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Leroux, support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Furness, support.
Thank you very much.
Anton Daramain in support,
Thank
Speaker.
you very much.
Councillor Botha in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Kotse support.
Thank you very much.
Alderman Cliffy Bayman, support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Malin Wellman in support.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Bavuma in support, Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Klaas in support, Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Limbar against.
Thank you very much.
Speaker, Councillor Baron against. Speaker, I just want in one
You
sentence.
must just state your vote. We're not having a discussion. Thank you very much, baie dankie. Ja, die sweep is op het vandag.
There's also council this side.
Alderman Boyson.
Alderman Boyson in support.
Thank you very much. Elder Lady Fortuin in support. Thank you very much. The outcome of the voting, Mr. Prince, if you can just assist me. Those against, total.
Seven against, Speaker.
We have 7 against, abstentions. 2, and those in favor.
17.
17. The item thus carries with a majority vote. Thank you very much. We move.
Madam Speaker, thank you.
Die item is afgehandel, raadslid Baron.
I know, Speaker, the only reason why I want to speak for the purpose of the administration, I need to say my reasons for voting against for the admin purposes.
You want it to be recorded?
Yes.
By a court raadslid.
Yeah, Speaker, the reason for our abstain vote is that we agree with the CFO that is also against, in his comments, the CFO is against it. And if you want me to read his comments, then I will read, and I respect him for going against it. And then also, we disagree with the Moore report. And then we also we disagree with the Labour Department. And lastly, the Freedom Front Plus want this council to send the report to the MEC, the AG, and the National Treasury. Thank you.
The reasons for voting against is being recorded. Thank you very much. The item has concluded.
Madam Speaker, apologies.
Yes, Councillor Botha.
The previous speaker now indicated abstention, but during the vote he voted against. If we can just have clarity if it's abstention or vote against now, as conflicting language was used.
Sorry, it's voting against. It was a mistake.
Thank you very much.
Speaker, I think that's the danger of allowing more debates after vote, because there was now also indication given to the administration by one councillor, various instructions given, which was definitely not part of this debate or discussion, and not supported by the majority of reports being sent to various departments.
Indeed, thank you very much, Executive Mayor. So the request is not serving. Only the comments made in terms of the reasoning of why the councillor is voting against it must be minuted. Thank you very much. We are then on item E86, writing off irrecoverable debts for the period ending April 2025. In front of council, we have the report with the recommendation. Can I please have a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll propose.
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to second.
Thank you very much. Opening up for comments, questions of clarity. None agree to. We move. Item E87, monthly reports with regard to supply chain management for February 2025. Can I please ask for a proposer? Council to take cognizance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose.
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman. Opening up for questions, comments. Councillor Gous.
Thank you. Abstain.
We're recording that the ICDP is abstaining. Any other questions or comments? Agreed to. We move. Item E88, Supply Chain Management Monthly Report for Deviations, approved for the period of February 2025. Before Council to take cognizance, can I have a proposal, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose.
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I'll second. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Opening up for comments, questions of clarity. I see the light of Councillor Kwaza. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I see that on the deviations, the TLB machines that was on the amount of 125, we've got a tender for those machines, and I see that it was there was an email that was written for the tender on the 20th of February. I just want to know the clarity on that amount. Is that amount gonna be, the tender is gonna pay that amount of 125? Why are we deviating whereby there is a tender? And also on the TLB again machines, that for Petro SA in the Louis Fourie Road, amount of 59,800. Also, I need a clarity on that. Also at the dumping site, as far as I remember, dumping site, it was said that there is amount of 15 million that is set for that, and now and it was said that there will be no more deviations regarding that. I just want to know why now we're having deviations of the amount of 1.8 million, whereby it was said there is a 15 million that is set for that dumping site. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kwaza, for your questions. I am going to request the Director of Community Services to respond. Thank you, Director Nell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think similar questions were asked in the committee and or during the committees, and the deviations are when the preferred bidder on the tender is not available. So then we get in writing confirmation that the preferred bidder is not available. There are alternatives as well. If they are not available, then we source wherever we can find a machine. Unfortunately, in Mossel Bay, there are not that many people that have machines or TLBs available. If it's an emergency, for instance, when the Louis Fourie landfill site was burning, we needed a machine urgently. The preferred bidder had a machine available, but only in 3 or 4 days. And we couldn't wait 3 or 4 days because of the fire that was burning at the landfill site. So then we deviated to get a machine in on an emergency. The money spent at Petro SA is not appointed on a tender, so payments that goes to Petro SA will be deviations because that is where the landfill site is and we have to pay them dumping fees. They were in a situation at some stage where they did not have machines to operate at the landfill site, and there is an agreement in place that for us to go and dump there, that we assisted. It was negotiated and we assisted. There is also a survey that was done to establish the remaining or the available airspace at the Louis Fourie site, and all the municipalities in the garden route contributed to that, and that is the exception, so that's why that was also a deviation.
Thank you very much for your comprehensive response, Director Nell. Any other questions of clarity? Ratsed Machisini.
Madam Speaker, through you, on the answers of directors, when they say there is a tender, and then on that tender, if it's not available, they go around and ask other people to come. The questions that man was debated there he will be paid by that person who got a tender with us here, or gonna pay by the municipality. He can answer that.
Thank you, Councillor Machesini, Director now.
We pay the municipality, we procure the service, so it is not the preferred bidder that is delivering the service. So the person that delivers the service are paid by the municipality.
Thank you very much for your response. If there is no other questions, Councillor Kwaza, last bite.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We understand clearly, Madam Speaker. What we want to know is this amount that is being deviated, whereby there is a tender that is given to the person to provide the service of LETB machines. But when it was needed, the person could not respond. So what now is going to happen? There is this amount that is deviated, and that person got a tender. Thank you, Madam.
Municipal Manager.
Speaker, I understand what the councillors want to find out. You must remember, when we go out on tender for plant and machinery that the municipality doesn't have, you get a tender for as and when required. There's a difference, Speaker, if you want somebody to put a machine 24/7 on standby just for the municipality. It will cost you, I think, 10 times more than what it actually is. In this case, it's not like that. It's as and when required, because the director doesn't know when she's going to need the machine. When she needs the machine, she goes to the tenderer, but sometimes the tenderer doesn't have a machine because his machines are working all over the show. And in that case, and especially when Louis Fourie burns, Speaker, we don't play, we address the problem immediately. So the answer is no, that the tenderer, the preferred bidder, won't pay that money, because the municipality should have paid him if he did the work. We don't pay more for the service and so on. And you must understand that if we must get the preferred bidder to be there 24/7, 365 a day, it will cost us, the municipality, a very, very exorbitant amount of money to service a tender like that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. If there is no other questions, no, Councillor Kwaza, we've exhausted the debate. You can post your questions writtenly. We then move to item E89.
No, Madam Speaker.
Service level agreement. I've concluded on item E88, Councillor Mkontu. We at item E89.
Sorry, Madam Speaker. I didn't receive the answer of the 1.8 million from the dumping side. Thank you.
Councillor, that is our dumping fees that we pay Petro SA just to dump household refuse.
Thank you very much. We are on item E89. Can I have order in the meeting? Item E88 is concluded. Service level agreement, Mossel Bay Municipality, debt manager. In terms of the Municipal Finance Management Act, number 56 of 2003, section 116. In front of council, content of the item, we have the recommendations listed 1 to 3. Can I have a proposal, please?
Madam Speaker, I'll propose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Alderman, can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second.
Thank you very much. Opening up for questions of clarity, comments. I see the lights of Councillor Baron and Councillor Gous in that order. You may proceed.
Yeah, Freedom Front Plus against this item.
Would you like to give your reasons now, Councillor Baron, that we just get that clear?
Speaker, I think for all the time that this item come to council, we vote against. And I don't want to state the reasons, because why we still investigate.
Thank you very much. On record, the Freedom Front against. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP abstains.
Thank you very much. ICDP on record, abstaining. I see the light of Councillor Gwaza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. ANC is against. We want to know the directors of this company. And also, Madam Speaker, if you see that on page, on page 132, the letter from National, if you see that the logo, the national logo in the Annexure A, you see there it's a color, it's an original logo. But when you go to the second page, on the same letter, you see that it's black and white. So we need a clarity on that, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The ANC is on record that they are against with one question of clarity in terms of who the directors is. Municipal Manager, if you wish to respond, you may.
Speaker, I'm unfortunately not prepared for that question. This item the council already approved the item last month. The only reason why it's here is because of the late response from the National Treasury, which is the letter that the council referred to. We cannot just ignore it. We had to bring it back to council. But council already approved this item last month, Speaker.
Thank
So
you.
I don't have the names of the directors of the company here now.
Thank you very much. Councillor Blau, you are online. Would you like to go on record with your position or any questions maybe?
Speaker, soos die MM genoem het, die item is klaar geapprove verlede maand, so ek hou dan net cognizance dat dit teruggebring is vir daai spesifieke rede.
Thank you very much. As per the recommendations, Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Speaker, thank you very much. The Patriotic Alliance will be abstaining.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. It is recorded as such. Freedom Front against, ICDP abstaining, the ANC is against. The Causa made their position clear, taking cognizance, and the Patriotic Alliance is against. And abstain, oh sorry. My sincere apologies. If we can just correct that, the Patriotic Alliance is abstaining. Thank you very much. That concludes the
Speaker,
item.
if I may, just for clarity, the item is not just for cognizance. There is another section to it. I don't have it in front of me now, but I do recall that the item said something about that the comments from National Treasury be considered non-substantive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The item has been concluded. We are on item E90. The minutes of the disciplinary board meeting held on the 17th of April 2025. In front of council is the content with the recommendations listed 1 to 3. Can I please have a proposal?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will propose the item.
Councillor Satuncha is proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you, Councillor Wellman. Opening up for questions of clarity from council. I see the light of Councillor Machesini
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
and Councillor Gous. Thank
As before we said that we need more information about this, but at this time we didn't get anything. On that we are against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The INC is indicating that they are against, as per previous request. Their position is thus on record. Councillor Gous, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP is abstaining from accepting the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. ICDP is abstaining. Councillor Porta? No, not. Okay. Any other? Councillor Baron?
Speaker, this item is the very same as the first item about section 67 and circular 131. So we are against.
Freedom Front on record that they are against. Councillor Blau, would you also like to go on record?
Because I'm abstaining from this item, Speaker.
Because is abstaining. Councillor Porter, would you like to go on record?
Patriotic Alliance abstaining, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Patriotic Alliance is also abstaining. We have that recorded. Thank you very much. The item carries. We move. Item E91. Application for exemption of cost payable for water connection deposits and new water meter connections for in Base Plus community. Content before council with the recommendations listed 1 to 5. Can I please have a proposal?
Yes, Madam Speaker. As the ward councillor, I would like to propose and also thank the administration for assisting the community and especially the chairperson any requests in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ward Councillor is proposing. Can I have a seconder for the Ward Councillor?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do second the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Talamane. Opening up for questions of clarity and comments. I see the lights of Councillor De Bula and Councillor Gous in that order. You may proceed.
Enkosi, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, asinangxaki ANC malunga netoba kwenziwe i-service for abantu. Umbuzo wethu si-ANC njengoba sidla ngofuna i-information. Masenze umzekelo, Madam Speaker. Xa sifuna ilist, besifuna ilist yabantu abazosiwa eMountain View. But zasikwazi ukuyifumana kuba kuthiwa zawakho i-poppy ad zawubamba i-officials zabanjwa for i-poppy ad, but now sibona i-ID numbers apha ezikhoyo. And namagama abantu, so sifuna ukucacisela zoba kuqhubeka ntoni.
Thank you, Councillor De Bula. Thank you very much, Alderman Furness. We can record that Alderman Furness, as per his apology, is now excusing himself for his doctor's appointment. Thank you. Councillor De Bula is requesting clarity on why the ID numbers is included of the beneficiaries in the item. I saw the light of Councillor Gous. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP welcomes the opportunity to assist the members, the residents of Base Blaas. And I'd also like to thank the Ward Councillor and the administration for the work towards that. I would, however, just like a little more clarity, knowing that the legislation says we cannot spend public money on private property. What are we doing regarding that? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. We then have two questions of clarity. Municipal Manager, Mayor, would you like to comment? Not.
Yeah, Chair, Speaker, I just wanted to, I've completed my studies now 3 years ago, and I don't use it as often as the administration. But the same legislation also allowed, if council agree that it's to the greater good of the community, then you can deviate. Obviously, you will have to take the council decision, Speaker.
That's why it's in front of council. Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. Then there was a question of the information around the ID numbers, which is contained in the item. MM?
Speaker, I think the department worked with these people, the community development department, and it's for one reason, the people are aware we're putting the ID numbers in the item. The second reason is to be absolutely transparent so that you can actually go and check whether it's these people who must benefit. It is so, Chairperson, the item points out that these are impoverished persons. A lot of them are unemployed. And I'm sure that most of them or all of them will be indigent if we do the investigations. What's happening now is these people are living in their own homes, but they don't have water. So what are they doing? They're going to the neighbors' houses. The neighbors are registered as indigent, but now they exceed the amount of water that one household should use, and they're running the risk of losing their indigent grant that council gives them. So that's why we brought the item to council to take the decisions. We as administration cannot take the decision, and that's the reason why we brought it here. I think Councillor Gous knows the circumstances in Base Place. If you go there, I think all the council will say, let's do it, Speaker. Okay.
Reflecting on what the pastor this morning shared with council, I think this is one example of that, and I hear no objection to the item. the red light is at Councillor Mkonto, I will allow you to speak. Thank you.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just want to understand, because the questions on that side by my councillor Dubula was about the Poppy Act. When we request many times in this council the information, we've been reminded of the Poppy Act. And if you notice now that the full IDs were put in front of us, but when we were requesting that you don't need even to put the full IDs, you can just take the phone numbers that are the ID numbers. Then you can, the birthday and the one that for the female or the male, just to have a indication who's on the list. We were reminded that there's a Poppy Act. Now you are saying you did consult those people, and those people agree that their ID numbers must be on public like that. So
Thank you, Councillor Mkonto. Director Nel, would you like to respond and confirm?
Speaker, I just would like to reiterate what the municipal manager said, is that these people do know that they are included in the item, and it is to their benefit that they gave the consent.
Thank you very much. No objection to the item at this stage. Agreed to. The item carries unanimously. We then proceed. Item E92, replacement of Elder Lady Fortuin on the LLF. Recommendation be for council. Can I have a proposal, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Annie Janse van Rensburg. Is there a seconder?
I'll second, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kannemeyer. The item before council is for replacement, so there need to be a proposal in terms of a name.
Madam Speaker, I propose Councillor Talboom Vumvu with the acceptance of the proposer and seconding.
Thank you very much. Councillor Annie, is that acceptable to you?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. And I just want to say thank you to the whip. I was also thinking that he's going to mention
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Kannemeyer, you comfortable
I'm
with that
comfortable,
amendment?
Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We then have a proposer. Is there any opening up for questions or counter proposals? Councillor Machisini.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I second President Mvuvu to be.
No objection to the item. Agreed to. It carries unanimously. Thank you very much. We then at item E93, Section 67, Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act, number 56 of 2003, item before council, conditional grant for the financial years 2024 and 2025 to the Mossel Bay Sports Council. Recommendation in front of council for consideration. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Is there a seconder, please?
Thank you, Speaker. You do.
Thank you, President Mbumbu. Opening up for questions and comments from council. I see the lights of Councillor De Bula, Councillor Baron, and Councillor Gous in that order. Thank you very much, Councillor De Bula.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I have no problem for this item, but this only thing I will see there, the information of this sport council, always you give the money, but if you see the plan of these people who was give the money for the sport council, is not what you call clear, not clear for this or for information. So you need clear information. If you spend the money, which sport you spend, like rugby, cricket, soccer, tennis, all these things, so that can clear picture that the money was spent from 10 rand for the sport, for the soccer, the rugby spent for the 20 rand, I'm making example. So I want to clarify there, Speaker, please.
Thank you very much, Councillor Tabula, asking for a report. I know that there is a feedback report monthly that serves in the committees on the Sport Council. Councillor Tabula is asking that more information then is provided. However, I am aware, but is now asking for details in terms of specifics. Can I ask Director now to quickly just respond on that one? Because there is a monthly report that serves in the committees. Can I have the red light for Director Nell, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Quite coincidentally, Councillor Gous asked the same question. That's because every at the committee, but we got a summary just for the last year, so I read it to the councillor as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Director Nell will then provide that summary report to the whole of council. The lights were at Councillor Baron and then Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP abstains.
The ICDP is abstaining. Thank you very much. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Freedom Front Plus is against. We agree with the National Treasury. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Would the ANC like to go on record?
As an ANC, Madam Speaker, we abstain as we're waiting for the report. Thank you.
ANC is abstaining. Councillor Blau, would you like to go on the record? Councillor Nadia.
I'm here, Speaker. I'm here.
Thank you. I'm just on item E93. Just like to know your position.
In support, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nadia. Patriotic Alliance, would you like to go on record?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would also like the report. So for that reason, we'll be abstaining. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. Abstaining. It is then recorded that the ICDP is abstaining, the Freedom Front is against, the ANC is abstaining, COSA is in support, the Patriotic Alliance is abstaining. The item carries with majority vote then. Thank you very much. We move to item E94. Application for the renewal of the lease agreement of a portion of Earth 6118, which is situated at the corner of Umtata Crescent and Karelse Street in Asla Park, Wanangaba by Richard Reward Leasing. Recommendations in front of council for consideration. Can I please have a proposer?
Speaker, yes, I would like to propose item E94.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bavuma. Is there a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second the item.
Thank you, Councillor Satunsha. Opening up for comments, council members. Question of clarity. No objections, agreed to. Thank you very much. Item E95. Alineation of Earth 12980, which is situated in Tarka at Stomsterkie Street in Mossel Bay by the means of a tender process. The recommendations is in front of council. Can I please ask for proposer?
I propose, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Kannemeyer is proposing. Can I please have a seconder?
I will second, Speaker.
Thank you very much, all the lady writers. Opening up for comments or questions of clarity from council. No objection, agreed
No,
to.
Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Apologies, Councillor Mkuntu. You may proceed.
Madam Speaker, as ANC starting Mossel.
No objection, agreed to. The item carries unanimously, and Councillor Mkuntu indicated that you taking cognizance. Koskakulu. Item E96. proposed alienation of a portion of earth 2001 Mossel Bay. It's an unregistered earth which is situated in C. Manana Street, Kwanangaba, by the Zion Christian Church. The recommendations for council to consider. Can I please ask for a proposal?
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. I propose the item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mbumbu. Can I have a seconder for Councillor Mbumbu?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I was what council, I was second for this item, and I'm very happy for this item. After I can debate last, the date of 9 of the committee of the town planner, but this issue of the land, the confusion between the community and the church. So the community of the Ekpumlen Speaker, I was telling me, he said, is accept the church that area, and it's very happy to municipality to give the church the land, especially the ZCC church. So another words I was getting from the community, that member, because I was meeting the 11 and in the 12th was meeting the committee of that area and committee of the church to debate this issue. And the 15th was meeting of the community. I was accept Speaker 100%. So it's only thing I was see there, Speaker, the amount. I'm not sure that amount is not higher, but for me and church is too high, 180,000. So if you can assist the church, that's to draw for the amount there. I think the church will make happy. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Tabula. You are seconding the proposal of Councillor Mvumvu, which is noted, and then your comments also in terms of the price. I received your email yesterday afternoon. Thank you very much. I have it in front of me. It is noted. However, the item is before council to take a decision on that. And we will then resolve as such. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP would like to raise a matter of principle regarding this item. While the ACDP supports the assistance to churches, I cannot understand how this item has been brought to council as a direct alienation with the motivation that it's in the community interest and therefore being sold at 10% of its value, when the primary use or the primary zoning is business zone 1 and the consent use is only a place of worship. As a matter of principle, we are now selling prime land, business zoned land, directly alienating it at 10% of its value. Can the Mossel Bay Municipality give me their motivation for that? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gous, for your question of clarity. I will, Municipal Manager.
Speaker, I'll ask between Mr. Venter and Mr. Prince to assist with that question, please.
Thank you very much. Director Venter.
Speaker, yes. Now, I think it's a merit of a case, and I think as explained in the item, the reasons are provided there, but it also depends on the merit, so that is the way it's presented to council then for a decision.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prince, would you like to add anything else?
Nothing from my side, thank you, Speaker, except to state that it is deemed to be in public interest, and thereby it's a reduction in the market-related price, and it's only 10% of the original price determined. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Councillor Gous, I will allow you your last
Thank you,
bite
Speaker.
on this.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker, because I read the item and I never, that's the reason I asked the questions, because to me, it's to say something is deemed in the public interest but not to give reasons for it is not sufficient. And that's what I'm asking for. Yeah, we are taking property that's worth 1.8 million rand, we're selling it directly without tender for 180,000 rand. I don't object to the fact that we want to assist a church. But the fact that we are giving, it's a business, it's zoned business. We're selling business land. This from a municipality where our mayor is chasing a growth strategy. The reasons given, and my apologies, Speaker, through you, are not sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous, for your comments made, which is recorded as such. Your position on, are you objecting, or can I just conclude with Councillor Gous, please, Councillor Gous?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would like to make a decision, but I would like to make an informed one. Therefore, my question, what is the motivation? To say it's deemed in the public interest is just it's a phrase that we cut and paste and we put in an item, and I'm questioning what is the public interest? Why are we selling business land? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question there from Councillor Gous, Councillor De Bula.
Thank you.
And then Councillor Botha.
Thank you very much, Speaker. As a ward councillor, as you know, the land of the Mossel Bay is close to the business. If you go everywhere, it's close to the business. So if the churches come and you go the act of municipality, if you want for the land, you go this step and this step. For me, as ward councillor, no problem for that land to give the church, because that church is belonging our Mossel Bay in our community. As I say right now, the community area is no problem for that church, because that church don't have the land. So now if you give the land, permanent land, the church will pay for the service. And also these people who was close, that church is benefiting that church. Because in the same time, that church have the program so that can give the soup kitchen, the child, all this stuff was not have the job. So for me, I don't understand Councillor Gous why is questioning so.
Thank you, Ward Councillor. Councillor Botha.
Madam Speaker, I would just like to concur with the previous speaker, and that the public benefit of a church is self-evident in the work they do in the communities, and by the very nature of the organization, they are a benefit to communities. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. I'm going to bring this matter to conclude on this item. Councillors, please note that we will now follow a public participation process, where it will also come back then afterwards to council. So I will like to resolve in terms of a vote. Councillor Gous, if your light is on for your vote, then I will record it as such.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I appreciate that the questions I'm asking are maybe too nuanced for some people to understand, in the sense that I understand what the benefit is of a church, and I would like to assist the church. May I then propose that the Mossel Bay Municipality then consider, if we are giving this at this reduced price because it's a church, that we then include a recommendation that says the church may not sell this land for profit. May I make that recommendation then? And would my fellow councillors consider the nuance of the situation, the principle of the matter?
Councillor Gous, you are making a counter proposal for an. Sorry. Thank you. I would need a seconder from Councillor Gous. Can I please just get that?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Freedom Front Plus will support that proposal because I think there was in the past a lot of the stuff that happened. People get land from the municipality for churches, and then after 20 years they sell it. It's actually a groei wat hulle toon na 20 jaar is hy baie meer werd. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baron. Executive Mayor.
Speaker, yeah, we are
you should just be cautious how this council are being perceived when we debate this, that we are against the creation of churches in our town. In this area we are hangstrom in terms of available land currently. That's why we're busy with various developments in town. So I think that might be part of the problem, Councillor Gous. But this is going out on public participation. I think that's some good comments, and I think obviously one should include that. And then when we come back and take the final decision, then we include it. But churches making profit out of land over 20 or after 20 years, I don't want us to go into that rabbit hole. Churches are serving our community. They're delivering a service. We can't maybe see it, but that's what they do, especially in terms of the social health in our town. So we must take hands with our churches, even if it's to the cost of this council, to avail land for them to do their work. I think it's very important. I don't think we can put a price on that. Yes, we should apply our mind and see that it's not business land that might be utilized by businesses, but we should also recognize the importance. And then at the end of the day, when they sell the land after 20 years at a profit, obviously they've then at that stage put buildings on and so on. So we should also obviously keep that in mind, that there was then a betterment of the land and the assets and so on. And obviously then they can benefit from that, because it's the fruit of their work they plowed back into. So various churches work very hard to create beautiful buildings where they can invite people in, so that people feel comfortable, that they enjoy going to church. Obviously a church must also work hard that they are inviting, that people want to go there, that they feel welcome, that they keep with technology. I've seen various churches that roll out beautiful interactive screens and technology and so on, so that people feel that they don't have to stay at home and watch church over TV and so on. But I think there was some relevant input, Speaker, and I think we should include that just in terms of the public participation process.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. I'm hearing that you are in support of the amendment to the recommendation, so I now would like...
Speaker, no, I think we should stick to it and make it part of the, there might be other obviously inputs as well, and then we consider that in the final item. This is only for public participation now.
Okay. Good, thank you very much, Executive Mayor. Raadslid Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, then in light of that, I would then, during the public participation process, I would then propose that a moratorium be placed on the sale of the land for profit within a period of, say, 5 or 7 years or something like that, because of the nature of some churches in Mossel Bay. And I'm not casting aspersions on this church specifically, but the way finances are managed, whether the entire church benefits, whether it's one person that will benefit as the head of the church, etc. That's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see the bigger picture here about how the community is going to benefit at large, and not ultimately maybe just one individual. So then I will withdraw my proposal for an amendment to the resolutions and then wait until public participation process. In the meantime, I will submit that recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No objections. Agreed to. We are at item E97, proposed delineation.
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Botha.
The original motion was withdrawn, but there was a secondie on that motion. Will they wish to proceed with it, or do they also withdraw then from their side?
Thank you, Councillor
No, Madam
Botha.
Speaker, the Mayor is absolutely right. We all agree. Thanks.
Thank you, Raadslid Botha. Item E97, proposed alienation of a portion of Earth 11993 in Mossel Bay, situated adjacent to Earth 5620 Mossel Bay in Marula Street, Aidaran, by L.J. De Lange. Can I please have a proposal in terms of the recommendation?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the item.
Thank you, Councillor Delamain. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second the item.
Opening up for questions of clarity, comments. No objections, agreed to, we move. We're on item E98. Application for the lease of a portion of Earth 2001 Mossel Bay for the establishment of an eco-koi village. Ek weet nie hoe om dit te sê nie, Raadslid Baron. Dankie dat u help. In front of council is the recommendations. Can I have a proposal, please?
I propose, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen. Can we have a seconder?
I will help him, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Poison. Opening up for comments, questions of clarity. No objections. Councillor Baron.
Madam Speaker, this agenda point for me is the most difficult one ever put on the agenda. I actually wanted to say nothing, but yesterday I had a lot of visits, and now I must say something. There's nothing that I can do now. I must talk on this point. And I must maybe do it in either Khoi language or Afrikaans. At the current moment, there's a process ongoing about the new act. They call it the Khoisan Leadership Act. But the bill was what goedgekeur is as an act, and the extension date that they gave was the 30th of this coming month. Sorry, the end of June, 30 June. So I actually have a problem that we as council exceed that process, because everybody wants to know from me now, why are you saying nothing? Why are you, all the stuff happening in Mossel Bay about the Khoi, people from outside of Mossel will come and they're ruling the song. I said, listen here, for me, I don't get involved in nothing. People are busy with nothing, so I don't get involved. Maybe Councillor Boyson can recall in 2006 when myself and him started this organization in Mossel Bay about the Khoi people, the restoring of our people. And Councillor Cliffy Bayman also joined us a few weeks later, and a lot of other people. Councillor Harry Levendal was part of it. And it was for a revival of our people. And then I was praying to say, eyes must open our community, the brown people, we must open their eyes that they go back to their heritage, who they exactly is. And when people open their own councils, I was praying for it, so it was fine with me. And it's still fine with me. The problem that I have with this item is they say applicant. And the applicant don't have a name. I must go back to the people there, the real Khoi people, to tell them who's this applicant. Because I also don't know. I have a suspicion, but I don't know. But I just want to say, I will go against this item. The Freedom Front Plus will vote against, but I can guarantee you, this stuff will come back to haunt us. I don't want to go against any one of our Khoi people that is doing anything. It's their right. But I know this stuff will come back to us to haunt us. And the other stuff that is there outside, I don't want to talk about it because it's heavy stuff. But this will come and explode in a heavy way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Your comments are noted and recorded, as well as your position indicating that you are against. Executive Mayor.
Speaker, yeah, thank you very much. I also regularly meet with various groups, and so I was also confronted with some of the arguments, and I'm acutely aware of the process that's been followed. Some of the Khoi chiefs came and also handed me documents explaining how the whole process works and so forth. And then also obviously some chiefs came to see me accusing council of only being willing to work with some groups. and so on. And there's also a directive from province that we should recognize that process, and for that reason there's also no representation in council yet, although the seats has been standing empty for 3 years, and then almost each and every time I also indicate to the Khoi leaders who come to see me that they should get their house in order, because it's because they cannot work together that there's no representation. But colleagues, yeah, so and I explain it in this way, and I see it in this way. And Councillor Baron said it in his own words, it's their right. When a group, or for instance, when a church or any organization come to this council with a project or a proposal, obviously there's a process. But first of all, it's their right to ask. Then we go through the motions, and we go to public participation, and then there's no comment. But it's a group. And what I tell the Khoi chiefs, when I speak to a Khoi chief, it doesn't mean that me as the mayor sitting with them, that I now see them as the leaders. I see them as the group who come to see me. And that's the same if, say for instance, with the previous item with the church. It's not dis 'n node van die NG Kerk wat aansoek doen om 'n kerk te bou in Mossel Bay. It's an individual church or an individual group or an individual organization, Councillor Baron, and that's how I see it. And that's why I'm willing to sit with various Khoi groups. It's not my job to sit with a group and say, okay, this is the leader, or that is the leader. I don't think any one of us, maybe you will be the most qualified to do that, but definitely not me. But I do respect all of them, and if they want to have an audience, it's their right. It's our job. We representatives of the community, and we should serve them. So if a group want to see us, we should honor that. Or when a group comes to us, doesn't matter if they're new in town or from where they are. If they're representing a Khoi group and various leaders comes up with a project, and council apply our mind, this is an application for a project. It's not an application that this is going to be the representation or a village representing the whole Khoi of South Africa, the whole grouping. This is only an individual request from a specific group or clan, and obviously if there's other clans that comes to council, as we debated last time as well, we would have loved it if they could all congregate together, but we know in churches it also doesn't work like that. So the difference is we've got individual groups within bigger institutions coming to us with specific requests, with specific projects, with specific ideas, and then obviously we should apply our mind, and we also give the greater community their opportunity to also give their inputs and thoughts on that, and then it come back to where we are now. And Chairperson, I think it's a speaker, I think it's a good thing that we from council side, that we show the Khoi people, because there's actually very little place in South Africa currently where they are being honored. And I think this is a first step, although legislation, everything is not in place. As Mossel Bay Council, I see it that we're showing that we're open to the first people and to their projects, and obviously if there's other projects that they want to come up with, it's their right, and then we should duly consider that as well. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for your input. The red light. Councillor Baron.
Is it for me? Can I speak, Speaker?
Yeah,
I can. Speaker, thank you. Nee, ek stem 100% saam met wat die burgemeester sê. Ek moet net byvoeg. Die baie min mense weet, eintlik in die hele Afrika is daar 'n revival wat aangaan to restore Africa in its rightful place. South Africa is part of Africa. We are all part of the Africa continent. And in South Africa is no different. I myself, who started the organization in Mossel Bay, who is currently the chairperson of the region, I stand back for the original people that was the Tories, like it stands here. This name is coming out of my house. I was using the name Gaurikwa, the Afrikaanse naam, but this name Tory was the Tory everybody that was living here. So I stand back, and because we find out in our research, the Kuris people from Mossel Bay, they are the real people. And I advise them now, I help them with the documentation. And if they are approved by government, national government, then it means all the Khoi people must come to Mossel Bay, to this table of the Kuris. Everybody that calls him a king or whatever he is calling himself, just to unite everybody. So we are busy with that process, and that's why we are not feeling nice about stuff like that, because there's people running now in front. But we also say the anti-type, according to the Bible, come before the type. So we know. But just the background, what we are doing, they have 3 million hectares of land that is coming back to them within this year. So we are busy with that process. But thank you so much.
Thank you for that overview, Councillor Baron. For the purpose of the item in front of us, your position is now that you are against. Councillor Porter, my apologies, the red light is with Councillor Mkonto and then Councillor Porter.
Okay, thanks, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think this the issue of restoring the history, special things that we lost, the indigenous knowledge. There's a number of things that we lost because of that history that was bad to our people. This matter is very sensitive. One, it's having a bad side. Two, we need to restore that history. And as a government, whether you are local government or provincial government or national government, we have a duty. We cannot run away. If it is not our platform as a local government, we need to at least communicate with the people that can be assisting. I did raise the time that I was coming in this council, the first time, I can't remember, but the first year, when we talk about the tourism, asking that this is the area of Khoi, as they are saying so. Because if I remember correctly, when I arrived here in Mossel Bay, there was a cave there at that point. I used to go and read there what happened here. So if we are losing that history, we taking another direction that our constitution does not allow. The constitution is saying that we must restore our history, especially when you go to the preamble of the constitution. Now, when the people that are coming, whether they are coming in numbers or whoever, who's right, who's not right, from my side, I believe that the government, we were supposed as councillor to assist, to try to unite, to try to build that harmony unit in these people so that they can restore their history. And we can know what happened, and we must know the indigenous language of them and other things. There are a lot of things that we lost. We need to restore those things. For the side of ANC, we cannot say this is the right Khoi, this is the wrong Khoi. They are a platform of that thing. For this one, we are supporting it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkonto, for the purpose of this item. In terms of a lease, the ANC is in support. I saw the light of Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I read within this item that there was a public participation process. The concern is, Speaker, that the public participation, there's quite a number of our residents, especially in the Khoi community, that didn't know about this public participation. And I want to agree with Councillor Baron that this is coming back, and for that reason, the Patriotic Alliance will be against this item. Thank you.
Against. Thank you very much, Councillor Porter, for the position of the PA, the Executive Mayor, and then Councillor Liebenberg.
Speaker, thank you. Yeah, we've went into some of the history and so on, and I was also privileged to have the Kuris family in my office think in the last 2 weeks, Councillor Baron, they mentioned your name also. They know you well. They spoke about all the discoveries, the land claims. So I'm quite up to speed. They've sent me a lot of documents, research, and so on. It was very interesting. So I'm quite aware of that. But I think and I think this is where the misconception is. This council or the decision is not trying to give legitimacy to any group. We are giving legitimacy or approval to a project. This is a group that is applying to run a project, and I want to agree also with some of the inputs that this is only one step towards addressing the past. Obviously, it's not going to be the end, and it's not going to be enough, and there might be other projects, as I've mentioned in the previous round. But the way I see it is that, and we had a lot of debate and arguments regarding the legitimacy of specific groups. But it is the right of any person or group in this town to apply to run any project or business or koi village or whatever. And never before, when a group asks for permission to run a project, we try to first determine their legitimacy in terms of where are they in the hierarchy of their clan, are they the leaders or not, and so on. So yes, there is an argument, and it's a debate. I understand why we're mixing the two, because there is a debate, especially in the Western Cape, and it's an important debate. But this is only from our side, I think, just a step in towards that. We're open and we're accepting these cultural differences, the history, and so on, and we're inviting it in. But we are not giving legitimacy to this specific group and saying that they're now the leaders. This is just a project that they're proposing.
Thank you very much. Indeed, Mayor, it's an application for lease in front of council. The red light. Councillor Gous.
Okay, no, that's...
Speaker, through you to the Mayor, I will withdraw my stance. If the Mayor said this item in this land and this event of this eco-koi village, if he can, and that will be a unite Mossel Bay where it can start. If the Mayor can say, listen here, before we approve this thing, if you say you are a koi leader, you come to me and I will give it to all of you, together as a group, then I will agree. Otherwise, we will fight and kill each other all the time. But he have the opportunity now to unite us, bring us together and to say this. We will debate now, how will you all together do this thing together for Mossel Bay and for the Khoi people of South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Mayor, I will allow you to respond. There's now a direct request to you.
Speaker, it's now becoming a back and forth, but I understand the request, Councillor Baron, and why you're asking it. But as I've mentioned also to the Kuris family and to various other Khoi chiefs coming to my office, it is not our job, and we cannot from our side get involved in the internal workings of the Khoi people. They must determine how their hierarchy is structured. It's not this council. We don't have in fact, national government doesn't even get it right. There's no we're gonna get it right. And I don't think we should get involved in that. I see this as a specific, and I mean, for no other project have we had the same request that we first go to that group of people who's coming up with a project, and then first try and determine how the hierarchy and their structures work. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's our place to get involved in that, Councillor Baron. We are not equipped for that. So that's why I see this as a single project. When we started this process, we all said, we had a long debate then as well, and we all said, hopefully, the Khoi people through this application will work together, because now the others will hear that there's this project and they will buy in. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I also don't want to kill the initiative of one group. I actually want to, and I mentioned this to the Kuris family as well, also come up with projects. this is now one group who's showing initiative and is coming up with something, and hopefully it will inspire the other groups as well to get involved, to start doing something for their people. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for your comments and clarity. Indeed, Council cannot get involved in the internal matters of structures and organizations. I can't see it. May proceed, thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, first let me just thank you as well on behalf of the African Christian Democratic Party that you are allowing debate on the matter in the council chamber, which is, in my opinion, the way a democracy should function. Speaker, I would like to ask, I unfortunately was not privy to the council presentation in November 2023, so I don't know what the business proposal is of this organization. If we could just get a 2 or 3 sentence explanation of what the proposal is, I'll appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then also, Speaker, second question, does the Mossel Bay Municipality foresee that they will be making any donations or grants to this organization? Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 questions from the ICDP. Just a very brief overview of what this project is about, and then a request in terms of donations, possible future donations. Municipal Manager will assist with a short of synopsis.
Yeah, Speaker, as far as I understand it, they want to establish a koi village, similar but on a smaller scale than what we used to have at the bridge. As you go to the Eastern Cape, the Blaukrans Bridge, something like that. Yeah, that's what they want to establish to show people the culture of the koi. And then as far as donations are concerned, I can't say yes or no, Speaker. We don't know what the future will hold. They might come to us and ask for donations, which Council will have to consider at the time, but not for the now, as far as I know.
Thank you for that clarity, Municipal Manager. Is there any, Councillor Baron, the position of the Freedom Front we have, is there any other objections before we conclude? Rashid Baron, it must be the last because I need to now conclude.
No,
I
I don't
understand that this is personal, but I must conclude on the item.
No, Speaker, I just want to give my position as a Freedom Front person.
May proceed.
Our position is we are against this item because of one person that is trying to do his own thing.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. That is noted and recorded. Councillor Gous.
Speaker, just for clarity, is the NPC already registered or must it still be registered?
Thank you for your question of clarity. I have been advised that it is to be registered.
At the time when they spoke to us.
Thank you, Speaker. Then the ACDP will abstain.
Thank you very much. Councillor Krieger, would you like to go on record with the position of ICOSA?
Speaker, ja, ICOSA, ek weet nou nie. Ek wil so graag sê ek is in support van dit, omdat enige initiatief uit die Khoisan gemeenskap is 'n goeie initiatief. En ons word gekenmerk aan ons kan nie saam staan nie om ons heritage te voordeel uit te trek nie. So van nou sal ek abstain, maar ek sal dophou wat aangaan in die Khoisan gemeenskap en ek hoop dat ons almal sal saamstem een of ander tyd. Maar ek verstaan ook die posisie van die munisipaliteit en hoekom hulle hierdie projek entertain.
Ondersteun. Baie dankie, Raadslid Nadia. Councillors, we then conclude on item E98. The Freedom Front is against, the ANC is in support, Patriotic Alliance is against, the ICDP is abstaining, and ICOSA is abstaining. It has been proposed and seconded, and it carries thus with a majority vote. Thank you very much. We then move to item E99. initiation of the process to compile the Mossel Bay Spatial Development Framework, which is our SDF for 2027. Can I please have a proposal in this regard?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Botha. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second the item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Annie. Is there any comments, input? Councillor Mpuntu?
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the position of the ANC is still the same, because previously we did mention that this partial development framework is not a document that assisting those indigenous communities, or I mean the disadvantaged communities, and especially the item that we are just discussed now, the issue of readdressing the injustice of the past. It's part of this document, trying to make sure that the Khoi people, they are visible, they are well known, their problem are sorted in terms of the land. So in other words, you are not in support.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkuntu. Your inputs made, noted and recorded, and the position of the ANC also as such, not being in support. Any other objection? With that, the item carries with a unanimous vote. Thank you. Item E100, proposed amendments, membership and registration of dependents on accredited medical funds policy. Before council for consideration, can I please have a proposal?
Madam Speaker, the DA would like to ask for a 15-minute caucus.
15.
15, Madam Speaker. We are a large caucus. That's less than 1 minute per member.
Thank you very much, Councillor Botha. I welcome that 15 minutes for myself also, and the caucus to the DA is granted. Council does break for 15 minutes, and we will then reconvene. Just after
Madam Speaker,
12,
before you grant the 15 minutes, I just want to understand so that in future we cannot give the party who have 2 seats or 1 seat the more time. Are you saying that the time that you grant you will be based on numbers?
No, Councillor Mkuntu. Yeah, you know I'm very lenient also, but just take the 15-minute break, please, Councillor.
I'm gonna need my minute.
Kalen, kan ek asseblief tee kry? Dankie.
praat maar.
Ek nog nie begin nie. Wat moet ek sê?
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Council will now reconvene. The DA has asked for a 15-minute caucus by Councillor Botha, and I will now allow him to address Council on feedback. We are at item E100. Councillor Botha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will give over to Councillor Leroux.
Thank you very much. Councillor Leroux, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, thank you. We would like to propose this item, but with a proviso that employees who retire early, but after 10 years of continuous service, may request ongoing medical scheme membership. However, the employee's request and motivation will then serve before Council for the approval based on the advice of the Human Resources Department and following careful consideration of the reasons to support the application. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is being proposed by Councillor Leroux with the amendment that was read to Council. Can I please have a seconder? Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dijk. It's been seconded with the amendment by Councillor Van Dijk. Opening up for comments. Everybody clear? Councillor Machisini?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. ANC abstain for this.
The ANC is abstaining. Is there any other input? Okay, Councillor Krieger, you comfortable? Okay,
I'm comfortable, Speaker.
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
Thank you very much. Ik ben nog net gewonder of ik ook een stukje langer kan nemen daar. No, I'm just kidding. My apologies. The item carries.
Thank you, Speaker.
With the Councillor Baron.
Yeah, Speaker, just on page 599, just to check whether it's correct or not. 599, the first sentence. The item which served before the Executive Mayor Committee on 15 April 2025 reads as follows. Maybe I'm wrong with my date.
Wrong date.
15 April. 15 April is tomorrow. Okay.
No, it's not the 15th of April tomorrow, Councillor Baron. It's the 25th.
The 25th. Okay. Then
Okay.
Then I'm wrong.
Okay.
Is this the correct date?
This is correct, yeah.
All right,
Okay.
thanks.
It was the normal mayoral
Yeah.
committee meeting that was
Thank you,
held.
thank you.
Okay, Raadslid Baron, u is wakker, thank you. The Freedom Front is not objecting. The item carries with a majority vote, and it is recorded that the ANC is abstaining. Thank you very much. We are then at item E101. Before Council is an application for the renewal of the lease agreement for a portion of portion 8 of the farm Reed Valley, number 225 in Mossel Bay, to the Cape Karoo International. Recommendations before Council. Can I have a proposer, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Botha. Is there a seconder for Councillor Botha?
Yes, Madam Speaker, Councillor Van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dijk. Opening up for comments and questions of clarity to Council. Councillor Mkuntu, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, I just want to understand who's the council of that area.
The ward councillor. Is it Councillor Botha? Does this fall with you? Okay. Councillor Botha.
Or is the rich councillor, ne?
I'll ask Councillor Botha if he would like to respond to your
Madam
compliment.
Speaker, point of order. We are deviating from the topics at hand. If we can just have order in the House, please, and for the record, the councillor that has to drive around the most by definition then has the least money.
Thank you very much for your point of order, Councillor.
No, Madam Speaker,
It
just
stands now.
one-
The point of order stands, Councillor Kontu.
It was just information, Madam Speaker, because I see the recommendation that they will be consulting the council, the ward council. So just to understand it.
No, thank you very much. It's a light spirit here today, which is good. All right, there's no objection to this item. It carries. Thank you very much. We are on item E102, proposed alienation of a portion of Earth 13800. The unregistered Earth, which is 19617 in Kwanangaba. It is situated at Tembilisle Avenue in Kwanangaba, and this will be done by the means of a tender process. Can I have a proposal, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will propose the item.
Thank you, Councillor Setunsha. Do we have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you, Councillor Wellman. Opening up for questions of clarity, comments. I see the lights of Councillor Mkonto and Councillor Gous in that order.
The same question, Madam Speaker, I think is still going to public participation. And it's the same. Who's the councillor? Because I've noticed we have two councillors that area. Maybe they are claiming where, I don't know where the boundaries ending. So I just want to know who's the councillor. I think it's the area next to the Texera.
The ward council, the ward councillor who can confirm. It is Councillor Debula. Councillor Mkonto, meneer so stout wees die man. Councillor Gous, can I just have the light for Councillor Mkonto to conclude with his
Madam
input?
Speaker, that's why I'm asking, because here the manager, whoever must write to the ward councillors.
For input, that's correct. Yes.
And we agree that it will be part of participation in the ward
Always,
committees.
indeed.
Now I've noticed that there's an argument even here on my side that this is the Dubula, it is Makolo's ward. That's why I'm asking, so that we'll be clear who's going to get a letter to do a public participation.
Okay,
Yeah, Speaker, the administration will make sure that the right council will get the letter, yeah. Not the one you're doubting about, the correct one.
No objection, the item will go out on public participation, correctly so. No objection by Councillor Mkonto. Just a question of clarity, Councillor Gous.
Speaker, no, I actually want to just, again, raise a matter of principle with this alienation. Yes, it's an alienation via tender, but it's a business zoned area. But now we are telling people that if you apply for this property, you have to run exactly the business that's currently running there. This is a tailor-made tender for the current incumbent, and the ACDP can't support that. Yes, it's going to go out on public participation, but how does the administration justify telling people you can tender for this land, but you have to sell motor spares there and you have to have a repair center for cars? Why can somebody not tender for the land and do something else there? What justification does the Mossel Bay Municipality have to tell somebody what they have to do in their business premises? What legal right does the municipality have?
Thank you for your
Because this is effectively, my apologies, Speaker, it's effectively preventing anybody else really. So it's actually ensuring that although we're meeting the letter of the law saying we're putting it out on tender, we're not really. We're actually giving this land to, or this business property to this association.
Thank you for your input. Can I ask our legal representative to respond, Mr. Prince.
Chairperson, thank you. The reason is there's
Madam Speaker, before I think he can also respond to mine.
Okay.
I have something that I forget. In the committee, I requested that there's a fence there. They assured me that they will be able to give me the answer. I never get that answer. What happened? Why there's a alienation of that land, but it's already fenced. And I thought it's the same with the Nasika, the taxi rank. Then I've been assured on that meeting that I will get the Nasika the information.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. Wie gaat het antwoorden? Mr. Prince, can you respond to the legal question?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I can't respond to the second question, but with regard to the first question, there was an application from Incidu Mubata Taxi Association where they requested to purchase a piece of land directly for spare parts and as a repair center. But there was also other interest in the land, and in this instance it was the opinion that it then will be better to go out on tender. And if there are other people who also want to establish a repair center or business or a selling of vehicle parts, that they also have the opportunity to tender for this land.
Thank you for your response, Mr. Pond. The MM will add.
Chairperson, I wasn't aware about the other questions about the fence, but I don't know if Mr. Fenton might have a response to it. No, also not here. So we will have to come back to you, Councillor Speaker.
Thanks, Madam Speaker, through you. So you are coming again for the second time.
We're going to give you an answer to the question of the fence.
Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Mkonto. It is then the result that the MM will provide you with the answer regarding the fence. I would now like to know if there's any objections. Councillor Gous.
Speaker, the ACDP wants to just, basically through you, Speaker, our legal advisor has confirmed exactly what I've said. We are putting land out on tender, but we're making sure that this company gets it. This Incidu and Mobta Taxi Association. This is a violation of economic freedom. It's a total overreach.
Point of order granted.
Madam Speaker, the official of the administration has answered. Now words is being put in his mouth, and I don't think that's fair at all, and I should ask councillors to please be respectful towards the officials.
Thank you very much. Councillor Gous, Mr. Pons did mention that it would be open for other business also. That was actually what he said, Councillor Gous, so it's not correct that he confirmed that it is for one specific business only, because he didn't say that.
Then I completely misunderstood, and perhaps Mr. Prince can clarify, but he said we're putting it out on tender for somebody that wants to open a repair center. Those were his exact words. I stand to be corrected, Speaker, and then I'll withdraw. But if you can perhaps give Mr. Prince an opportunity again, I'll appreciate it so that I've got clarity. Thank you.
No, Mr. Pons is not going to respond. Did it indicate that it is indeed as per the item, but should there come any other proposals for other businesses? Municipal Manager.
Speaker, if I can maybe give an input. When we go out on tender, we cannot preempt who will get the tender, irrespective of what you want to see on the land. It is so, Speaker, that we are referring to a tire repair and whatever the case, but anyone can tender, not only the one who came. As Mr. Prince said, the taxis came and applied for the land, but we know about other people who are interested. For that reason, we didn't bring an item to council and say, listen, we want council to consider selling this land off. We're going the open route. Any person can apply. It might be that the taxis make 100 rand. Bid, Speaker, and somebody comes in with $1 million. We cannot just say that we are going to give it to the specific person who applied in the first place for that. I think that's what
Mr. Pons
yeah.
Mayor, can I have the red light for the mayor, please? Thank you.
Speaker, yeah, no, thank you. We must remember it's before council, so it's good that we debated, and obviously we can differ, but at the end of the day, we would take the decision. a company came to us identifying a need. They asked for the land, we cannot give it to them, so now we're going out on tender, and council can decide if it must be related to the business they in. Or we can say, no, it's open for everybody. And then maybe just the big guys who's buying all the land might get it as well. That's the problem.
Thank you, Mayor. Councillor Gous, you must conclude now.
Yes.
And please also just confirm your position. Thank you very much in your last input.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would like to just express my concern that a member of the administration is refusing to clarify a question for a councillor. According to my understanding, this item says that any person that tenders for this land has to open a repair shop. I just want clarity on that. Am I understanding the item correctly or not?
Councillor Gous, are you objecting to this item? I want to resolve with a vote, please.
Speaker, I really appreciate your patience, but we're sitting here and I'm assuming none of us are here just to rubber stamp stuff. We want to do what we consider right. And as a representative of a party that is very specific about principle and the principle of justice specifically, I want to be sure that I'm making a right decision. I don't want to make a decision based on a misunderstanding. And so I'm asking for clarity from the administration. Is this item saying that whoever tenders must tender to open a repair shop there? That's what I'm asking.
Councillor Gous, thank you. Before Mr. Prince responds, I think in the misunderstanding and the fact that the official does not want to again repeat himself is based on the fact that I think what he said was misunderstood. So we must also be aware and cautious that we cannot, as council, also expose our officials in that regard. So I don't think it, in my view, is a matter of disregard for response. I also just want to be clear on that because something was said which the official did not say, and he chose to not respond, perhaps to not get himself into a position. But I don't want to speak on his behalf. I also just want to make that point. Mr. Prince, can you please just now confirm with the Mayor? Thank you, Executive Mayor.
Speaker, yeah, thank you. Councillor Gous mentioned the word perception of justice, and I suppose there might be different perspectives or perceptions that this is not a just process. It's before council. Obviously, if Councillor Gous does not agree that it must be for the specific industry, that it must be open to everybody, then she can make that, obviously, that recommendation, Speaker. This is for councillors to debate, not for the administration to defend. Obviously, they wrote the item based on a request. And then they said, right, let's make it related. And I can't see if, councillor, we decide all the time what must happen all throughout town in terms of spatial development, in terms of various decisions. We as council has got the authority to decide what's going to happen where, or what do we put out on tender for what purposes. That is the powers we have. Then we go out and we do not decide who gets the tender, obviously. But we cannot narrow it down to what we want on that land. Obviously we can. And if some of the councillors feel that we should not do that, then obviously make a counter proposal.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. I am going to now conclude. Yes, Councillor Botha.
Madam Speaker, now just to point out, point number 10, that the public participation as prescribed in the relevant legislation be followed. The item is going out for public participation and inputs can be given there. And then lastly, Madam Speaker, I would just like to conclude with expressing my discomfort with the way in which officials have been treated in this meeting.
Thank you very much. Councillors, is there any other input? Councillor Gous, you must put your final position now for me on record.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, if there's been a perception that I have treated any official disrespectfully, then I need to apologize for that. because that's not my intention when asking a question. My understanding is we have a legal advisor sitting in the council chamber to guide all of us in making a decision that's not going to transgress any legislation for which we are personally financially viable if we make a mistake. In my opinion, we are not working in accordance with the MFMA in this, which emphasizes fairness, equity, transparency, competitiveness by putting this criteria into this item. Through you, Speaker, to the Mayor, I never asked for a justification. I just asked, am I reading the item correctly? That's what I asked the administration to assist me with. That cannot be disrespectful to ask a question like that. Speaker, the ACDP is going to abstain on this item because I cannot see that we can legally impose on residents what business they will run where. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Madam Speaker,
Porter.
point of personal explanation for my previous statement. It was not about the asking of a question, which a councillor is always entitled to do. It was the placing of words in the mouth of another, and either through not listening properly or intentionally phrasing something and saying someone said something which they did not say, and that's to which I object.
Thank you very much.
A point of personal explanation, Speaker. It's a point of order, Speaker. I rise on a point of order, personal explanation.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, there was no intention to place any words in anybody's mouth. Let me assure Council of that. Thank you.
The item will go out on public participation. Is there any objections? Thank you very much. Agreed to. We move. Item E103, Section 67, Local Government, Municipal Finance Management Act, number 56 of 2003, conditional grant before Council for the financial year 2024 and 2025 for the Joint Operations Centre. Before Council is the recommendation. Can I get a proposal, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose this item.
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second.
Thank you very much. Opening up for comments, question of clarity. I see the light of Councillor Baron. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Freedom Front Plus against.
Thank you very much. Freedom Front Plus is against. Any other input, comment? Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP abstains, and I'd like to actually just, for all the abstentions that have had relation to this, an explanation for the ACDP's abstention. Besides the fact that I believe we're making a mistake by transgressing, in my opinion, I also know that there's been a recent court judgment where officials were found responsible to pay back more than 6 million rand of expenditure that was passed through council as irregular. And I am genuinely concerned that we are putting our administration in a very difficult position. We can all end up walking away from this, but our administration are going to possibly be held personally liable for all of this money, and it's grossly unfair. The ACDP abstains.
Thank you, Councillor Kwaza, and then Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As an ANC, we are against this item, Madam Speaker, and also we want to know that as it was said, Madam Speaker, from the council that Jock Center will receive 3 million from province. We need clarity that, isn't it so?
Thank you. Question of clarity on the 3 million received, and the ANC is against. Councillor Porter, thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Patriotic Alliance is against this item.
Thank you very much. Patriotic Alliance is against. Councillor Nadia, would you like to go on record?
Ik was abstaining, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Nadia is abstaining. Question of clarity around the 3 million, Municipal Manager.
Speaker, thank you. I don't know about the 3 million for the Jock Center. I know about the grant from province for the dogs, the K9 unit, not for the Jock Center. I don't know if the councillors are aware of it.
Thank you very much for that clarity provided, Municipal Manager. So it was a grant for the
dogs.
K9 unit.
K9.
Thank you very much. We have on record the Freedom Front. Their position is against. ICDP is abstaining. ANC is against. Patriotic Alliance is against. ICOSA is abstaining. Item has been proposed and seconded. It carries with a majority vote. And all the inputs has been noted and recorded. Thank you very much. We are on item E104, donation of decommissioned 11 kV switchgear panels to the Issaquah Municipality. We have the recommendations 1 to 2. Can I have a proposal, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If you allow me, I would like to propose the following amendment on the recommendation. 1, at both assets, taking out the 2 words oil isolation, and then I would like to propose.
Thank you very
That's-
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain, with that amendment. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, with the amendments.
Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dijk, seconding with the amendment. Opening up for questions of clarity and comments. No objection, agreed to. Item carries. Item E105, alleged breach of Code of Conduct, Councillor Kutsia. Recommendations listed 1 to 4. Can I have a proposal, please?
Madam Speaker, yes, we have indeed.
Thank you very much. Alderman Poison, can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Wellman. Question of clarity from anybody? No objection, agreed to. We move. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of our open council meeting agenda for today. And I want to thank the members of public who has joined council and those in the gallery and also those virtually and the media.